Where did we go wrong as a people? I think our people need to understand this with a wake-up call and give them understanding on what's going on. So bring it.
Early morning, see bottles up on the shelf, cause everybody wanna be a king, selling out they soul for this mean green cream thing. Paper chasing, but not facing the facts that as a nation we all done got lax and letting the devil
So it's working now?
Yes, sir. The water man works.
Let's see.
Shalom. I said it works. The water. Shalom.
Okay, so hopefully if y'all can hear us, we should be, if you can hear us, just say, I can hear you. I don't know. I don't know any code words for that. So again, we're opening it up for any questions for this first hour of class, all right? So if y'all got questions, you can go ahead. There it is. All right.
Yes. It is? Yeah, I can hear it. Oh.
Yeah, so, all right, thank you. All right, so there is some confusion in regards to this is a question. There is some confusion in regards to the Boricua people being of the tribe of Ephraim. Is there any truth to that? All right, so to the best of my recollection, you had on that island that they now call Puerto Rico, the port of riches. You had the Boricua and the Taino Indians. All right, both dark-skinned, both of the tribe of Ephraim. All right, whatever names they decided to call themselves when they came over here, or any splits or divisions that they decided to make when they came over here, the biblical prophecy still stands. So I want you to get Romans 8 verse 16. And then we're going to get into Genesis chapter 49 and also Deuteronomy chapter 33. So we're going to see what the curses and blessings and whatnot were that we're going to stereotypically categorize that people. All right?
Go on. Romans chapter 8 verse 16. The Spirit itself bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High.
Right. So the Spirit, which is what? Anybody?
Oh, the words.
The Word, right?
Yeah, we speak.
All right. So St. John 6:63, the words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. So the Word is the Spirit, right?
Come.
And the Spirit is going to bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. So we're going to go find out who are the children of God according to the Spirit. Okay? So let's go real quick to Genesis chapter 49. Start at verse 1.
Genesis chapter 49, verse 1. And
Let
Jacob
me know if y'all got it.
Come. Genesis chapter 49 and verse 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Gather yourselves together, and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Yasharallah, your father.
Right. So Jacob calls his sons together and he tells them how they're going to be in the last days. He gives them their characteristics. Now, this is by stereotype. It's not every single person. All right? So, you might be like, oh, but my uncle don't act like that, and he's Puerto Rican. Okay. We talk about the whole nation and what they're known for, what their stereotype will be. All right? So, we're going to go down to verse 22. Hey, make sure y'all pray. We're going to set up prayers tonight for those in Trinidad and Tobago. All right? They got a storm coming that way. If y'all down there, warn your friends, warn your family. It's supposed to be pretty bad. So make sure y'all set up prayers for them. And the Most High be with y'all down there. All right?
Come.
As he has always been.
Great.
Yeah, go ahead and read that. So the question was, there is some confusion in regards to the Boricua people being of the tribe of Ephraim. Is there any truth to that? Also, if you want to post, what the confusion is for Ibn al-Haq, that's a long name. If you can post what the confusion is of them being not from the tribe of Ephraim, that would be good too. Like what? Maybe I can see that from a different point of view. What are they saying? But let's read that.
Genesis chapter 49 verse 22. Joseph is a fruitful bough, even a fruitful bough by a well.
Right, so he's saying Joseph is a fruitful bough, like a branch of a tree. Right? He said even a fruitful bough by a well. Right?
God.
So he's by this great place of drawing water. Okay? Read on.
God. Whose branches run over the wall.
His branches run over the wall. So the branches usually referring to the children, the people. You understand?
God.
And when he says that they run over the wall, when you deal with Puerto Rico, when it was when the Spaniards, the bastard Spaniards came over and colonized Puerto Rico, right? Or as I think at the time it was no, Hispaniola is the other one. Hispaniola is Haiti. But when they came in and colonized that island, they saw the kids playing with jewels like marbles and everything like that, and so they called it a port of riches, because what they did was they came over, started killing everything they saw as soon as they saw, and raping and robbing and everything like that, so they could get those jewels that even the children were playing with. So they called it a port of riches because it was a rich port for them. All right. So when it says, when we get to this part where it says that he's a fruitful bough and his branches went over the wall, what you're dealing with is that wall down there. It was called the Spaniards called it Il Moro, and that was a wall they had built to keep the conquering the original inhabitants, the Boricuas and the Taínos, from being able to, their warriors from being able to come over and kill them at will. Because as they started trying to fight back for their land, they weren't able to beat the original inhabitants. The Spaniards were losing; they was getting beat up, wiped out. So they built this wall in between to keep them from killing them, from coming in and slaughtering them. But some of the men would be able to make it over the wall. Now the other problem is a lot of these women would be going over the wall. And vice versa, of course. You know what I mean? You know, Esau can't keep that thing out of nothing. But a lot of the women would actually be coming over the wall to deal with the men. Alright? Sound like today, right? We got a lot of sellout women in our nation. We got a lot of sellout brothers in our nation, and they go over the wall, they go over and mess with these other nations they ain't supposed to, and now they parade them around like it's like a trophy or something. Y'all see that? Alright, so you know that was back then. What they were doing was they would go over the wall and they would end up mating with these Spaniards. You understand? So you know, to this day you can still look that up. It's called Il Moro, and it's the wall they got going right through, and it blocks off the fort that Esau had built there, and then and it keeps those. It was supposed to keep those men, those warriors from coming over that wall, because when they came over, they was trying to smash these cats in the head with axes, man, and hit them with swords, and these cats would take it right on the skull and it would break the sword, man. These cats were some vicious warriors. You understand? And there's another one. It's history of the West Indies and New Spain that you can look up. You can look and find that story. And then when you read in Lost Tribes and Promised Lands, you find out a lot of what was being done over there. That these people at these islands and these places were basically being greeted in Hebrew. All right.
And how you spell that? In the Albano?
Il Moro.
El Moro?
Yeah, I gotta look that up.
It's not like a Spanish word. El Moro.
Let me see. Il Moro.
Like right, so.
Spelled E-L-M-O-R-R-O.
Oh, E-L-O?
E-L and then M-O-R-R-O. It's two different words.
Yeah, you got
One
it.
more time.
E-L and then space M-O-R-R-O.
E-L space M-O-R-R.
So E-L-M-O-R-R-O. Right? Alright, the water sis. Trying to see if this had it in here too, but Right, okay. Alright, was that it on that scripture?
Verse 22.
Go for 22, God.
What's the next one say?
Genesis chapter 49 and verse 23. The archers have sorely grieved him, and shot at him, and hated him. But his bow abode in strength.
Alright, read that again.
Genesis chapter 49 and verse 23. The archers have sorely grieved him, and shot at him.
Right, so it said the archers have sorely grieved him and shot at him. So when these conquistadors came over, they used their weapons and they killed a lot of these Native Americans, a lot of these Puerto Ricans and Tainos. They killed a lot of them when they came over here. So that their archers had grievously wounded them. Go ahead.
And hated him. But his bow abode in strength, and the arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty Elohim of Jacob.
See that? So they were still strong though. They still stayed strong. They still stayed a strong nation. All right, and you see that until this day. Even though even though the white man has gone over there and continued to rape those countries and continued to mess with them and everything like that, they still got their own land. They still got their own country. All right.
That's why Haiti so poor.
Huh?
I said that's why Haiti so poor, because when they whooped them, they said that's how they gonna keep them down, by keeping them from commerce.
Yeah. Yep. And this one we dealing with is Puerto Rico though. Deuteronomy 33. I'm looking for let's see. And the reason he says Joseph is because, as you know, Joseph became Ephraim and Manasseh. All right, Ephraim being the so-called Puerto Ricans, Manasseh being the so-called Cubans.
Right.
And where's it at? Got Judah. Levi. Right, this is Deuteronomy 33:14. 12, 33:12.
God, Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 12. All right, got it?
Come on.
Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 12. And of Benjamin he said, the beloved of the Lord shall dwell in safety by him, and the Lord shall cover him all the day long, and he shall dwell between his shoulders.
See that? The Most High is thinking about them all day, but then when you look at their geographical location, they sitting there right in between South America, North America, right? They on them islands right there. So he's showing you they're gonna sit in a space between all the other brothers. Y'all see that? Go ahead.
Verse 13. And of Joseph he said, blessed of the Lord be his land, for the precious things of heaven, for the dew, and for the deep that coucheth beneath.
There you go. Right. So what he's showing you here is their land was blessed. All right. And even to this day, I know a lady down there in Puerto Rico right now, and that land is blessed, man. She lived on just 16 acres or something 16 acres, and got like 16 soursop trees. And y'all know soursop has the enzyme in it that cures cancer. When you eat that, the enzymes in that fruit that help cure cancer. Then they got soursop, they got egg fruit, they got all these different types of plant life and fruits, some of which don't grow on anywhere else. Y'all see that? So that's where the Most High decided to put the so-called Puerto Rican. All right. I'm looking for my other book, the Christopher Columbus one. Let me see if it's in here. got so many books in here, man. Apparently not the one I need. Yeah, that's like the only book in my collection that I left at home. It's the only book that I left there. But it was Christopher Columbus and the participation of the Jews in Spanish discoveries. And I can't find that in here, so must have left that at the house. But it showed you how Christopher Columbus, when he came over, there was certain islands, you know, like Puerto Rico, where they was using names for certain things that were in Hebrew and things like that. And even certain islands that were named in Hebrew.
Because when he came, he also had a Hebrew translator with him too.
Right, yeah, because that was the one who showed him how to get here. Yeah, his navigator was Hebrew.
What's the author, sir? Is it M. Caption?
There you go, it should be that. Meyer Kaisley. But yeah, y'all can check that book out. Are aliens and or vampires mentioned in the scriptures? No. No. No aliens or vampires in the scriptures. You got people that ate blood. That's why the Most High outlawed it. But they weren't people that, you know, ate blood and lived forever, nothing like that. It was nasty ass Edomites. And a lot of Hamites too. What else we got here? Yeah, what I was looking for, it wasn't in Lost Tribes and Promised Lands. It was in that other book that she's posting up there, I think. Let's see. Are the 144,000 virgins? Not literal virgins. No, not people that had never been touched or had never touched a woman. All right. That's that's a carnality that the Most High is not gonna come down, or not gonna have Christ come down and check and make sure you never had sex with a person. All right. And to show you that, you look at Peter, right? When you go into the book of Acts, they say, don't we have power to lead about a wife and a family and things like that, like Peter and Cephas and the others, right? So he's showing you that, yeah, Peter had a wife, all right? And Peter was, on this rock will I build my church. And Peter was one that was promised that was going to sit on 12 thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, so no, these are not literal virgins, all right? These are people that kept themselves, as the scriptures say, unspotted from the world. And it talking about their mind wasn't penetrated by any other doctrines, any false religions. It wasn't muddled up by being wavery. One day I love the truth, I love the Most High, the next minute I quit. They weren't like that, all right? So just like when you look at when you think about a virgin, an actual virgin, it's showing you that you think of a person that's pure, they're untouched. Right. Yeah, you could go to James. You can read 1 verse 27. We brought this out just a little bit ago too.
James chapter 1 verse 27. James chapter 1 verse 27. Pure religion and undefiled before the Most High and the Father is this, to visit the fatherless and widows in their affliction, and to keep himself unspotted from the world.
Keep himself what?
Unspotted from the world.
To keep himself unspotted from the world. So to keep himself from the things that are in the world that try to distract and destroy us every day, and that are hurtful to us. All right. So this is what he's talking about when he's talking about these virgins, if you will. All right. It's not because they had never known a woman, but because their mind wasn't defiled with the ways of this world. And there it is, Revelation 14:4.
Revelation chapter 14 verse 4.
Well, let's see.
These are they which were not defiled with women.
So does sex with a woman defile you? No, you're not defiled like that, like as if you're going to hell. You understand? He's saying these are those that aren't defiled with women, meaning they haven't gone after the strange woman that you read about in Proverbs chapter 3.
Go on.
Y'all see that? They haven't went after the ways of the world and into adultery and excess and lying and fornication. And we'll go into all that. But these are they which were not defiled with women. Go ahead.
For they are virgins.
Uh-huh.
These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth.
Right. And when you're reading about this, it says, verse 3, and they sung as it were a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders, and no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. Right?
God.
So these were redeemed from the earth. They was saved from being wicked like the rest of them. Now, what made them virgins? Read on.
Come. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto the Most High and to the Lamb.
Right.
And in their mouth was found no guile.
So this is what made them virgins. In their mouth there was found no guile. Their mind wasn't penetrated by the ways of this world. In their mind there was found no guile. In their mouth was found no guile, no trickery, no deceit, no double-mindedness, and no waveriness. Go ahead.
For they are without fault before the Most High.
So what made them virgins?
For they are without fault before the throne of the Most High.
See that if you look at the scriptures will explain themselves. That they are without fault before the Most High. They keep themselves away from the sin of this world. You understand? Then let's go to Proverbs 3.
That's when it say on the top of verse 4 that they which were not defiled with women, and they got the semicolon for they are virgins. You know what I'm saying? Like it interpreted itself with saying that following not being defiled with the women.
Okay, so how do you defile yourself with a woman?
I mean, we do become unclean. You know what I'm saying? Like when our excrement leave our body, and we have to wash our body with water or whatever our excrement touch.
Yeah, but see when you read in the law, you was unclean though. You weren't defiled. If you touched like the carcass of a dead body, you was defiled, right?
Right, but you know he also said like a man who is single, like kind of like a man like Paul, for instance. You know what I'm saying? He have time for the things of Yah, and then versus the one man that is married, he's worried about the things of this world, how to please his woman, and the woman to please her husband.
Right. Okay. And see, that's exactly what it's talking about. Is that yes, they were able to deal with a woman, but they weren't drawn astray by no women. You understand? They was having families, like I said about Peter, right? He was told he was going to sit on 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So that's even above the 144,000. You see that? But Peter had a wife. You get that? He had a family. A lot of these apostles had families, but they was promised these things. Why? Because they followed the Lamb wherever he went. They followed Christ wherever he went. Well, who's that talking about? Yeah, who were those people that followed Christ wherever he went?
The disciples.
Right. So they followed him wherever he went, but we clearly know from the scriptures Peter wasn't no virgin. You see? All right, so we got to understand, okay, what are they talking about then when they say virgin? It means their mind and their conscience have not been defiled by nothing.
Right.
Well, listen.
And just to play devil advocate one time.
Yeah.
That like you say, like Peter, he gonna be above the 144,000 because he gonna be on one of the throne judging people.
Right.
But the 144,000, you know what I'm saying, which is the elect, they're different from what a rank where people gonna be.
True. They're gonna be a rank, at a lower rank actually, and that's the thing. Is like, okay, if they're a lower rank and he called them virgins, but what was Peter? Peter wasn't a virgin, and he's a higher rank. You see that?
Right, but he was Yahweh right hand man at the same token.
Right. And like I said, but he didn't have to be a virgin to do that. Oh, the second verse, 2 and 47. Okay. We're at 13. Go to Proverbs 3 real quick.
Verse 33.
Gone, brother. 3 and 1.
Yeah, you started 1.
Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 1. My son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments. For length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee.
I'm sorry, 5. Wow.
Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 5.
No. 5 and 1. Started 5 verse 1. So Proverbs 5 and 1.
Proverbs chapter 5 and verse 1. My son, attend unto my wisdom, and bow thine ear to mine understanding. See?
Go ahead. Yeah.
That thou mayest regard discretion, and that thy lips may keep knowledge. For the lips of a strange woman drop as an honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil, but her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death, her steps take hold on hell. Lest thou shouldest ponder that path of life, her ways are movable.
See, so just like wisdom is likened to this woman, the strange woman. See, wisdom is the one that we want, right? That's the woman we want. The strange woman is the one that we're supposed to do away with. You understand? And the strange woman he's talking about here is that wickedness and that sin. That sin, it leads you to death, but it's enticing. You understand? So we understand reading Proverbs 5 that we're not reading about an actual woman, we're reading about sin. Correct? Okay. So because that woman is strange to us, we dwell in righteousness, so we don't deal with that. So now when we get to Revelations, we're finding out that what woman did these men stay away from? Who did they not defile themselves with? Because I can have sex with a woman, I'm not defiled. You understand? I'm unclean till evening, but I'm not defiled like if I ate pork, right? Or if I go have sex with a dead body. Something's wrong with my mind to do that. You see that? That's a defilement. So these men, they didn't defile themselves with the world. Well, what does that mean? It means they didn't make themselves abominable before the Most High. I didn't turn into a homosexual. I didn't turn into a drug dealer, a murderer, a thief, and all these things. What's that?
So, just like the scripture say that the dead bury the dead, right? And we know spiritually to come before a dead body will defile us as far as the natural laws and stuff go. So if she's a woman of the world and you being a spiritual man, and then you go into her, would that then defile you?
If she's a woman of the world and you're a spiritual man, would that defile you?
Right.
No, because that's where you get into 1 Corinthians 7, where he's talking about the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. You see that? But at the same time, can she? How? How does she end up defiling you?
By leading you away from the Most High.
There you go. If she can lead you away, then she's defiled you. Then you've been defiled by women.
Right. So,
You see that?
So in that same instance, could that be what you referring to in Revelation?
There you go. See, that's what I'm saying. It's now you're getting it. It's not that messing with women defiles you. It's when you do the defiled acts. That's why he talked about marriage is honorable in all and the bed undefiled. So how is marriage honorable, but the bed could be defiled? See that? It's obviously not talking about the act of marriage defiling the bed. It's talking about the defiled things you end up doing in the bed. You see that? So marriage is honorable, but the bed undefiled. So as long as you keep the bed undefiled, your marriage is honorable. As long as you ain't trying to put it in her ear, nose, and everything else, right? You haven't defiled the bed. You ain't bringing in Biff and your buddies, you know what I mean, and playing the chain gang on them. Then you're good. You see that? So marriage isn't what defiled. The act of marriage and sex, it doesn't defile. It's the actual defiling, the going into things that are abominable to the Most High. There shall be no sodomite among the children of your people. You see that? So what does that mean? That means you can't sodomize your woman in the bedroom. You see that? You can't go all the way down into her stomach with it from her mouth, and you can't go all the way to her stomach from her backside. You understand? That's not how you do it, because then you've defiled that person. Now, again, so far as the defilement of, we're thinking carnally, we're thinking about the defilement of just sex. You understand? The defilement is a spiritual defilement that Christ is going to be looking for. You understand? So when he gets back, once again, just like we tell brothers, you know what I mean? There's, you got people that camps up. Hey, are you circumcised? As soon as you come in the door, or you're not circumcised, you can't come in and learn. What? Are you checking? We're not checking at the door, like, you know what I mean? Like, what if they lie and tell you they are? You gonna make them whip it out? What are you doing? You see that? We're not checking those things. Just like we're not checking if a man is a virgin or not. We don't check those things. Those aren't the questions that are going to get you into the kingdom. Christ is going to do the same thing he did to Peter. Did you feed my lambs? Did you feed my sheep? You understand? That's what's going to be getting you in or not. Oh, you didn't preach the word. You didn't teach nobody. You didn't bear your brother's burden. Depart from me, I never knew you. You see that? So these virgins that he's referring to are those that stood so stiffly for the word of the Most High. And I'm looking for this. Where were we at in Revelation?
Revelation chapter
14.
14 or what?
14. 4. Yeah.
That was 14 verse 4. Right, so we've seen how they were not defiled women. They were virgins, there was no guile in their mouth, right? No, I don't say anything. Okay, all right. Right, gotcha. Okay. So let's get back. What else we got? Please explain Titus 3 verse 5, the washing of regeneration. So let's go there. Titus 3 and 5. That's another one, that other topic. There's more in-depth scriptures and stuff like that that I'll probably have to get you as we go along. Titus what?
3 and 5.
3 and 5, right?
Titus chapter 3, verse 5.
Go ahead.
Titus chapter 3, verse 5. Not by works of righteousness which we have done, but according to his mercy he saved us by the washing of regeneration and renewing of the Holy Spirit.
Right. Okay, so when we talk about the washing of regeneration, get Romans chapter 12 in verse 2. So that regeneration is basically you're being generated anew, again. You're being generated again. You're being made again. All right, you're being created again. So by the washing of the what?
It says, by the washing of regeneration and renewing of the Holy Spirit.
Right. See, you're being renewed in the Holy Spirit. So read that Romans 12.
Romans chapter 12 and verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh.
So you're not being conformed to the world, but you're being transformed, right? By the renewing of your mind. All right. So how do you renew your mind?
By with what that is good and acceptable and perfect will of God. We're keeping the will of God.
There you go. By keeping the word of the Most High. Get Psalms 119 verse 9. And you get Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 22.
Psalms chapter 119 verse 9. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his ways, by taking heed thereunto according to thy word.
See that? So we're going to cleanse our way. That's what that water does. That renewing, that regeneration is us cleansing our way. So this goes right along with our baptism class. So if you want to go on there and look for the baptism class, you can check those out. We've done a few classes on that. And that's going to show you about how we're renewing our mind. Are we baptizing our mind, like dunking our brain in water? Are we going and finding the dirtiest beach we can jump in the water in and dressing all white and be dunked underwater? No. All right? We're renewing our mind by the Spirit, by the ways of the Most High in Christ, which we find in the Word. Watch, read Hebrews.
Hebrews
10 and 22.
Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 22. Let us draw near with a true heart and full assurance of faith, having our hearts sprinkled from an evil conscience and our bodies washed with pure water.
See that? So we're having our bodies washed with pure water. We're having our minds, our hearts sprinkled from an evil conscience. All right. So this is what that regeneration is supposed to do. We're supposed to be regenerated, renewed in Christ through the Spirit by the Word. You understand?
Come on.
Let's see. Looking for. Right, so we're in Titus 3 and 5, right? So he's showing you, and then he goes on in verse 6, it shows you what we're being washed in. Alright? What are you being washed in? Read verse 6.
Titus chapter 3 verse 6. Which he shed on us abundantly.
What did Christ shed abundantly when he was being crucified?
His blood.
There you go. Right? What you're being regenerated by is his blood. Well, what does that mean? That means the life of Christ. Taking on that life of Christ is what's going to wash you and regenerate you and renew you. You understand?
Come.
All right. Go ahead.
Through Yahweh Shai, our Savior. Verse 7. That being justified.
Right. So that's it on that. Trying to see what else we got here. Let's see. camps, though, that say that the 12 chart is wrong and that the Boricua is not Ephraim. How would you classify that? Right, a lot of those people that say the 12 tribes chart is wrong are the ones that's saying that they're all Negro. And at one point they were, but at this point, where all the intermixing and rape and all that occurred, no, they're not. You understand? Where all the biracial marriages and all the crossing over has occurred, no, they're not all going to be Negroid. All right. So they do that, trying to cause that division. So these are the same. This is how Esau divided us anyway. How they got us to war with each other anyway. They did the divide and conquer. All right, our people started it though. We started. We're Boricuans. You're Taino. Stay on your side. Well, guess what? Y'all the same people. You see that? You got that with the so-called Mexican. They come over here. I'm Latino. I'm Chicano. I'm Hispanic. I'm Mexican. It's like, dude, your parents are from Mexico just like the other ones. So what are you talking about? How you Hispanic? You ain't from Hispaniola, Spain. Y'all see that? What's that?
But like even like when you do the research and you do the history or whatever, like still today, like a lot of us are Negro descent that are over there in those lands, and like the ones who are more. Cause when you look at the word Latin, that just means white. You know what I'm saying? And those the Spaniards that conquered them were the white people. That's why you have to like say you still have some of us like after they have what's called Mexican blacks over there. You know what I'm saying? Just like you even see that with our Cubano brothers, you know what I'm saying? And from other places.
Right.
They're very dark and they look like us, but when they speak, then you understand okay where they from or whatnot. But that segregation that it still go on because they know most of them are the super fair shade. They are not, you know what I'm saying, of the tribes.
Okay. Well, then we can make the same argument. Let's deal with Mariah Carey.
Right, we know she's white.
Why? Why? Who told you she's white?
Cause her dad was white.
Her dad's black. Her mom's white.
Yeah,
and that's where the confusion comes in, right?
Nah, I said that was back. I was thinking about like Bob Marley and from Half and Half.
Right.
Like we know they look very much. You know what I'm saying? Like they.
And that's the exact point I'm making is we're dealing with that. Daniel 7 and 9 or 9 and 7, the confusion of faces, right? So now you're looking at a chick like Mariah Carey and she looked like a damn Barbie doll running around. You know what I mean? But turn out she's actually Judah, right? You're looking at somebody like Cameron Diaz and you're like, this chick's white. Turn out she's like Cuban or Mexican or something like that. Christina Aguilera, you looking at her, that chick is pale, she blonde, all that. Dad's Mexican. Charlie Sheen, Emilio Estevez. They're brothers. You understand? His name was originally Carlos Estevez. He changed it to Charlie Sheen. See that? And he looked like a white boy, but he's Mexican. His dad, Martin Sheen. Martin Estevez.
The original Spaniards are white though.
Huh?
The original Spaniards, they are white.
Yeah, the Spaniards, yeah.
Right.
But the Mexicans?
Right.
No. But the intermingling now?
Right.
You wouldn't know. What's that?
And I think that's why I know how shall the Most High saying like, but when we giving that parable saying like that's why we have to let the wheat grow with the tails, because unless we tell something bad, you know what I'm saying?
There you go. And that's why I said the angels was going to separate that because you got people running around that off of eyesight, you'd be like, it's a white boy. You know what I mean? Then you find out his dad's like a Gadite chief or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, what the hell happened? Gadite chief could have whatever woman he wanted to. He went and got him a white girl. More of her traits took over. You see that?
Right.
You got brothers running around that be, huh?
I see that in the barbershop a lot.
Yeah.
It's, my boy Ty Kale, he coming there, super Judite, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
His wife, like, it seems like the paler the Edomite is that they mess with, the more likely to say that the child be, because both his kids, if they come in outside, you be like, Nah, dude.
Right.
And then when you see daddy come in, you be like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like you know.
Yeah.
But from the side of them, they look like pure Edomites.
Yeah.
Both of his kids.
And you know, you gotta look at people like Jacob, right? Or Isaac. He loved Esau. He loved his son Esau, right? Now, both his kids, one of his kids came out red and hairy all over like a garment, right? White boy. The other one came out dark skinned, right? Like him. But he loved his son Esau, the oldest.
He was like, no. I guess kind of like how I look at some of my kids, cause I got 3 boys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You like that the one who remind you of you, like Superman, that hunter type.
Right.
You know, fight type, you know what I'm saying? And then you got your other son who kind of timid. I don't want to be up on the mama.
Right.
You know
Well, in this case, the point I'm making is that he loved Esau and he loved Jacob. You know, Jacob was his son too, but he loved Esau more, right?
Right.
Okay, well, what made Esau become despised in the Most High's eyes? Was it his skin color?
Lie.
Nah, it was his spirit.
Right.
You see that?
When he said he was gonna cause his when he said this was the beginning of sorrow for dad, when he heard what he told Jacob.
Right. You see that? That's what caused him to be off in the Most High's eyes. It wasn't his skin tone. You said the first came out red and hairy all over. Right? Okay. When did he get his curse on him though? When his spirit got rotten. You understand? When you get to Obadiah and he calls them dead, these are the people of my curse, in whom I have indignation forever. Why? Because by that time, Esau was already trying to put us in slavery and captivity and killing us and things like that. You see that? And he knew what they was going to do in the future. So, you know, we got to look at these things and say, okay, am I going to judge things how my righteous forefathers did it? Or am I going to judge it the way I feel like? You know what I mean? The way the Black Power movement taught me, the way I feel and the anger in my heart. You see that? Because okay, yeah, you know what I mean? We know what the white man done did, man. We know about the KKK, we know about CIA, FBI and all that. They run all that stuff. We know they don't give a damn about our people. In the end, they all gonna run back to their own people. That's what the scriptures say. Every man's gonna flee to his own nation and his own tongue. You see that? Because when they see Christ coming, or you know these little skirmishes start breaking out and everything like that, you know what I mean? When cops start pulling over black people, white people gonna start taking their cornrows out like, I don't want to be white no more. When they start doing more of that, they start killing us indiscriminately, like for any reason. Then they gonna start like taking their little cornrows out that they had Takesha do. You know what I mean? And the white boys gonna stop sagging their pants and everything and pull that up. Start throwing their polos back on. Why? Because they're gonna realize that, damn, if I look like them, I'm gonna get my ass beat just like them. You see that? They're gonna let go of all that slang and they're gonna go back to talking like they talk. Why? Because at that time it's gonna get so hectic, they ain't gonna want to have nothing to do with no niggas, man.
That's what Meet the Blacks and the movie Meet the Black, even though they tried to be comical about it, and the Purge was about it.
Yeah.
But if you notice, all of them was just guiding just straight for the black people.
Yep.
It was never about, you know what I'm saying, them purging out their own, because he made it come in the movie and it kind of caught my eye. He was like, you know, I don't want to kill my own. We just want them.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, man.
So you see this. Next question was, help me with Acts 17 verse 4 and St. John 5 verse 37 through 40.
17:4.
Acts chapter 17 verse 4. And some of them believed and consorted with Paul and Silas, and of the devout Greeks a great multitude, and of the chief women not a few.
Right, and this is where we went into that about the Greeks and the Hellenists and all these things like that. Grecian, Hellenist. You got these, you know, kind of different types of people that was there in those lands, and where our people left, or where our people would go into any land. You got to look at the Bible as you look at things going on today with our people, man. When you come here, you got a cat that looks like you, sounds like you, might have a beard down to the floor, no fringes on, but he look like you, talk like you, but I'm American. Are you? No, you ain't from here. Your nationality ain't American. You a Hebrew. You a Jew. You see that?
No.
but you call yourself American. Then we got our people grow up over in Ireland somewhere, and what do you? Oh, I'm Irish. What? How are you Irish? Are you descended from the original people of Ireland? Those people? Those black people? Or did your parents come from over here or come from slavery and get sold off the west coast of Africa and end up in Ireland? Now you call yourself Irish because that means you're not Irish. You see that? But see, we got to look at these things and see that wherever our people go, we just take on that nationality and say, well, that's us. Why? Because we have no nationality of our own. You see that? So you get a cat, I'm talking to this cat, he was living in London, or he was living in, not London. When I went down to Honduras, the dude was from, he was living in, Finland with his wife. And dude's acting like he's Finnish. Like, but I'm like, but where's your ancestry? He's like, oh, I'm from Nigeria. Why didn't you just say you were Nigerian? You're not from Finland. You understand? But that's how our people do, man. It's like we go here, we go there. And that confusion's throughout the whole world because that's what Esau pushes. Oh, you're from wherever we say you're from. You see that?
Go on.
Like, you could be from wherever, right? You could be from the middle of Paris, France, have ancestry, go back to Paris, France, and when you come over here, what option do you get when you fill out the application? Do you get French?
White.
Why did you fill out French? You're black. How are you lying? We can't hire a liar. But I'm not black, I'm French. You know what I mean? Like, you speak the whole language perfectly and everything. Been centuries of generations been born in France, but when you get here, you're going to have to check black when you get on that box. Even though there ain't no nation called black.
I take other now.
Right.
Yeah, I've been checking out.
Right. You know what I mean? But this is, again, the confusion of faces, because in 100 years, if a nigga don't know what other means, what other? What nation was other? Because in 100 years, niggas are gonna be having listened to Percocet, Molly Percocet. They gonna have been listening to that crap for 100 years, and they ain't gonna know what the hell black, white, Caucasian, other, any of that is. They gonna be retarded ass niggas, and they'll be looking at that like, if they can read still, they gonna be like, other. What nation is that? Where's that? They gonna be spinning the globe till they get dizzy. You know what I mean? We're gonna have some retarded ass children, man. There's no hope for this coming generation, man. It's spooky. Just listening to the crap they put on the radio, and the couple times I tried to actually watch regular network TV, man. Woe to them that give suck in those days. That's what the scriptures say, man. Our kids are screwed. If we don't raise them ourselves and we don't teach them ourselves, they're screwed, man. If we let the world have them, you might as well just feed them to wolves. Like, you might as well just take them to the zoo, throw them over that elephant cage or something, and hope they raise them better. You understand? Like, I'm pretty sure that's how Harambe ended up getting shot. The parents was trying to get him raised right. Like, here. You know what I mean? Like, they won't let us whoop him. They won't let us do this. They want to take him from us, CPS on us, so you raise him. If I keep him out here, the radio gonna screw his damn brain up, man. You understand? Where you at?
I'm gonna go down, verse 5.
Read it again. Read where you at again.
And some of them believed and consorted with Paul and Silas, and of the devout Greeks a great multitude, and of the chief women not a few.
Right. So they was dealing with the Greeks and the people that were there. Now, like I said, you had Hellenized Jews, right? People that were Jews, but they were taking on the ways of the Greeks, like we read about in 2 Maccabees last week. If anybody remembers where we were in Maccabees, you can grab that. But I'm looking for this Hellenist. And of course it's not here now. Okay. That's crazy, man. That Mandela effect is real. Nah.
Nah, don't say that.
Dude, I was just looking for Hellenes, but it's not in there no more. Like, I know it was in there. Grecia or Grecians. Grecia is Greece, the home of the Hellenes. Greeks and Grecians, however, are to be distinguished. Greeks are generally those of Hellenic race, but the word may be used to indicate non-Jews, foreigners, and aliens. Grecians were Greek-speaking Jews, folk of the dispersion, from areas predominantly Greek. See, y'all see that? So sometimes when they're using the word Greek, they're talking about Jews from Greece. All right? Now let's get the other one. It was St. John 5, verse 37 through 40. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I've always been looking at the Grecian part and just seeing Hellenes in there. Because, 5, verse 37 through 40.
St. John, chapter 5, verse 37 through 40. And the Father himself, which had sent me, had borne witness of me. Ye have neither heard his voice at any time, nor seen his shape.
Okay, so that's true. We never heard his voice and we never seen his shape. All right. When you read Exodus chapter 3, it's clearly telling you the angel of the Lord. The angel of the Lord is the one that's talking to Moses, even though it says, and then the Lord looked on him. When you go to Judges and you read about Samson, it says the angel of the Lord, and then it tells you that the Lord looked on Manoah. Well, what are you talking about? That's the angel of the Lord. So we never seen his voice, or we never seen his face or heard his voice. Go ahead.
And ye have not his word abiding in you.
And he's telling these Pharisees, you don't got his word abiding in you. You don't have it in you. You don't live this. You don't do this. So his word isn't living in you. It just comes out of your mouth. Go ahead.
For whom ye had sent, him ye believe not. Search the scriptures.
Right, so him that he sent, you don't believe. So he's telling them, listen, the Most High sent me. I'm speaking the words of the Most High. I'm giving you the law. I'm giving you the prophets. And you don't believe me. I'm doing the works. Nigga done walked on water, changed water into wine. That wasn't Kool-Aid, nigga. You drank it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Go on.
And all of a sudden, we got an issue that, am I from God or not? Well, how many niggas turning water into wine?
Right.
Good wine. How many cats you seen rubbing mud in a dude's eyes and all of a sudden he went from being born blind to being able to see?
Right.
Let me see you spitting some dirt right now and make a nigga see. You probably whoop your ass. You know what I mean?
Good.
Be like that blind dude on the Boondocks.
Stink fingers.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, he was doing the things right in front of him and they still wouldn't believe him. They still wouldn't believe in the Most High. That's why he said that. He would always tell them, you're of your forefathers, man. Your forefathers followed Moses around in the wilderness doing this crap. Open up the Red Sea, close the Red Sea back, bring water out of a rock. We don't believe in this God you talking about. This God you talking about brought us out here to starve. This God you talking about, like, nigga, what God I'm talking about? You seen what God I'm talking about. He just brought you out of slavery. Y'all see that? All right, so, you know, we got to understand that our people the Pharisees was always looking at Christ like this. But where you at? What verse?
Verse 39, second precept.
Uh-huh.
For in them ye think ye have eternal life.
So he says, search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life. Go ahead.
And they are they which testify of me.
And those scriptures that you've been reading, we're talking about me, man. I'm walking around right in front of you.
Right.
You see that?
Come on.
All right, read on.
And ye will not come to me,
And
that
you
ye might
won't-
have life.
And you won't come to me so that you can get life. So you can learn how to get that water of life that you wanted. You understand? You won't come to me so that you can get your eyes open and get life. You see that? You know why he was having to tell them this? Because if they would have came to him, he would have showed them how to repent. He would have showed them how to get right and walk with the Most High, and they could have reconciled themselves with the Most High, just like the people of Nineveh did. That's why he said, if the works done in Nineveh, right, if the works done here would have been done in Nineveh, they would have long ago repented in sackcloth and ashes. Because all Jonah had to do was go over there and tell them. Right. And they was like, oh, we got to get right. You had to turn the water into wine, grow niggas' faces back, and lepers, make them whole and all that. He had to do that. Right. All he had to do was go over there and be like, hey, Most High hate y'all. He gonna strike all y'all down because y'all wicked as hell. Oh, damn, we got to get right. Set up the sacrifices. Let's get ashes and sackcloth and fast.
Yeah.
And these was Africans. Y'all see that? Damn Babylonians, the children of Babylon, got right. But Israel, he come to Israel, do all these mighty works for them. And you know what I mean? Like, you told the whole ocean to chill out. And it got calm as hell. And they still doubted you. They still wanted to kill you. You spoke only the words of the Most High. Everything that he was speaking, they could have easily verified if they would have just opened a scroll. Right. And they still tried to kill him. They still couldn't think of him as being come from the Most High. Okay, well then, you're going to get what you're going to get. Because the things I'm trying to tell you is going to give you life. But otherwise, in a few years, you're going to see Jerusalem compass about with armies. And then you're going to know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Luke 21 verse 20. And Luke 19 verse 40 and 41. Get those real quick. So this is what he meant when he was saying that you can come to me and get life. Luke 21 verse 20.
Luke chapter 21 verse 20. It says, and when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
See that? This is the compassion he was having on his people. He's like, I don't want to see this place have to be destroyed, man. Y'all shouldn't have to do this. This shouldn't have to happen. If you follow me in my ways, you'll get life. You won't be destroyed by the Romans. You won't be put up under a worse enemy than the Romans. You think Christ didn't know Daniel's? You think he didn't know the book of Daniel? He knew that our people was going to go not only under the Romans and their wicked selves, but under a worse nation than the Romans, man. Under a nation that was going to make Rome look like Disneyland. Y'all see that? A nation that'll sit there on video camera and blast you in the face and then say, I feared for my safety. Y'all see that? 21 verse 19 verse 40 and 41.
19 verse 40 and 41. And he answered and said unto them, I tell you that if these should hold their peace, the stones would immediately cry out. And when he was come near, he beheld the city and wept over it.
See, when he looked at the city, when he was coming to Jerusalem, he looked at the city and he wept over it. Because he already knew the future of it. Why? Because Daniel had told him. You understand? Isaiah had told him. All the prophets up until his point had said that they was going to be under these captivities, man. And it counted them out for him and told him. Ezra had told him all these things. You understand? But they still didn't repent, man. And that's why he was always saying that. Woe to you, Bethsaida and Chorazin, because if the things done in you had been done in Sodom and Gomorrah, they would have repented. Them little ankle-grabbing butt pluggers over there would have repented before you would repent, man. Y'all see that? Go ahead.
Verse 40. He answered, verse 42, saying, if thou hast known, even thou, at least in this thy day, the things which belong unto thy peace.
See, if you knew the things that would keep you in peace, in safety, read on.
But now they are hid from thine eyes.
But they're hid from your eyes, man. I'm telling you in plain English. I'm doing things in your plain sight where you could see it, and you still can't believe, man. So the only way to get you reconciled with the Most High is y'all gotta catch a major ass whooping, man. Y'all gonna have to just get beat and beat and beat and beat and beat until all you can do is say, oh God, help me. Oh Yahweh, power of our forefathers, please get me out of this. By then it's gonna be too late, man. Y'all gonna have to catch it. Y'all see that? So this is what he meant when he was talking about. Go back to St. John. When he said in verse 40, and you will not come to me that you might have life. Y'all see that? That's what he was talking about. Like, if you will come to me, hear my words, do my works, repent, y'all would have life, man. That's what all he was talking about in John 3:16. He whosoever believeth on me shall not perish, but have everlasting life. We would still have a nation to this day. But now what do we got? Nigga land? Black? Afro-America?
What's next?
Huh? Yeah, I'm just waiting for the next one around the corner. Coontown?
Yeah.
That's the next generation is gonna be Coontown, man.
Right.
There's a bunch of niggas shucking and jiving every time the white man show up in their neighborhood. It's gonna be a bunch of high niggas on Molly's and Percocets, smoking weed, shooting at each other until a white man jogged through their neighborhood in the middle of a pitch black night, and then all of them gonna start going like a bunch of damn trained monkeys, man. That's gonna be the future. Coonland.
You know what's crazy? Now you said that, like, cause I live right here on this land of Foreign Park. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, we never had no white people living over here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden they up in there with us. They walk around and everybody just befriending them. Just I'm looking at them like they be coming at me, you know, looking at me crazy. I do that right back with just straight, you know what I'm saying, face and just keep on walking.
Cause look,
Them
niggas do not want to learn their lesson, man.
Yeah.
They're like, come on, man. The Indians already tried that. Why didn't you learn from that?
Right.
They already let the white man in their neighborhood, and look what happened. Now we got America.
Yeah.
Now niggas is like sitting there being at peace with them when they move in our neighborhood.
Right.
Don't make no damn sense.
My neighbor, even might, you know what I'm saying? And they hear me like, cause I be blasting my TV. I didn't know they were eating my that bird like for a long time. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? I be in that jam, my little guy for watching my, you know what I'm saying, stuff on TV. They be like, they talk about the white stuff when they come out. They look at me and her mom is like the worst. So,
Right.
But they have a Judite daughter.
Of course they do.
And the son is full Edomite, and she's like 2, maybe 1 or 2 at the most. And he's like, I'm gonna say probably about 10 or 11. And she just be happy because, you know, that's her brother, of course. But she don't know he's trying to hurt her. You know what I'm saying? The grandma, she just sitting there watching this, and the little girl, she know she think Big Brother playing with her, but he twisting her arm all back here and everything.
Right.
And I saw it, I was like, hey man, don't do that. What you doing, man? I said, that's a Hebrew right there, what you doing?
Right.
And his grandmother just kind of looked. At first she was laughing, but when I said that, you know, like, oh, let's go in the house. They know what they doing, man.
Wow. Yeah, man. And that's going on worldwide, man.
Little girl, sometimes you can hear that though, screaming to the top of her lungs, they yelling at her. I'm like, man, this is bullshit. Sometimes I'm gonna keep the door down.
Right? Yep. Let's see. Oh, sorry. I'm looking for the answer for one of these questions on there.
Is that the one you told me to read again?
Oh, no. I had answered this already about the Godfather thing, but
Last one?
hmm?
Yeah, last Friday.
I'm sorry. I'm just looking for one of these. Yeah, I'm not finding it, man. I know I just answered this one, but it was what do I say to somebody? How do I respond to someone who asked me to be? But these are more customs of men that like. I don't think being a godparent has pagan origins. But I can look it up real quick.
It's from the Catholic Church, so
You said it's from the Catholic Church?
that's what they have too.
Yeah, detail from the baptism window at St. Mary's Episcopal, blah, blah. Godparent in many denominations of Christianity is someone who sponsors a child's baptism, although the term has also been used in a legal sense. Okay. Yeah, I mean the way they're using it now is not how they used to use it. I guess originally you used to be the person that was responsible for their child's like spiritual upbringing. So if you tell them if they want you to be that in the old sense of the word, that's fine. But the way they use it now, especially if they want you to be a legal godparent, that means that if they should die, like if they should get the parents should die in a plane crash or something, that's your kid now. So you know, you gotta decide for yourself if you want to assume that responsibility. But you know that again, that one's up to you, man. The scriptures tell you about being a father to the fatherless, right? So that's going to be up to you if you want to take on that responsibility. But is it wicked? No. You know, you're doing what the scriptures say. They're just making sure you bind yourself to that. Which I'm not seeing here either. Yeah, but again, you know, like I said, again, that's going to be a responsibility you want to keep on with. Sorry, my employers have crept on me and do not approve of the content of this content at their place of business. I will be back. Dang. God, dang. We in that wicked kingdom, man. Will Yahweh lead his people from destruction? Yeah. Go to Judges 5 and 11.
Judges chapter 5 verse 11. They that are delivered from the nose of archers in the places of drawing water, there shall rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord, even the righteous acts towards the inhabitants of his villages in Israel.
Right. So it said said those that were delivered from the noise of the archers in the places of drawing water, there they will rehearse the righteous acts, right? So, yes, we're going to be delivered from that destruction, from the noise of the archers. We're going to be delivered from all that. All right? When those glittering spears go flying through the air, those missiles and everything, we're going to be delivered from that, just like we were in Sodom and Gomorrah, just like we were in Egypt, all right? And just like we've been in every captivity since then. All right? We're going to be delivered from this here. Dude, I hate this chair. I feel like Mikey. Is that the one where he ate the frosted mini wheat and he turned into a little kid and the shirt was falling over his body?
Might be. I
You remember the old commercials? He eat the frosted mini wheat and the grown ass man would turn into the little kid with his clothes all overflowing. That's how I feel in this chair, man. What else we got?
I have a question.
What's that?
In the kingdom, all Israel that make it to the kingdom, will all Israel have eternal life?
The 144,000 is going to get that.
They're the only ones?
Yeah, Israel that's going to be here, they're going to be living like 1,000 years, man. Yeah, let me get that for you, man. It's in Isaiah, I think. Yeah, that's the one. Where's that one at? The one you was just saying.
Oh, living like they gonna live like trees, live in the street. The youngest gonna be that's in Revelations. What is it?
You talking about where Satan's bound for 1,000 years?
Wow, nah, I can't find this stuff. Losing my mind, man. Nah, man, it was. Dude, my brain don't want to work no more. Give me the question again. What'd you say?
In the kingdom, all of Israel that make it to the kingdom, will they have eternal life?
It's gotta be in Isaiah, man.
Because I was just thinking, wouldn't we be partaking in that and the good knowledge and the tree of life? And
Okay, it's Revelation 20:7.
What's that?
When after the 1,000-year reign have expired, and Satan shall be loosed out of his prison.
Well, read it. I don't know which one are you talking about. Let me see.
Revelation chapter 20 and verse 7. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and he shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom.
No. That one I gotta get back to you on, man, because I'm, for some reason.
Con.
Wow.
You start at verse 6, you talk about Christ reigning for 1,000 years.
No. This one that's not even on that.
Zephaniah chapter 12 and verse 7. The Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first. Shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as God, as the angel of the Lord before them. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem, and I will pour upon the house of David.
Right. So you said that. Wait, where you at?
12 and 10.
Right. So in verse 8, he said that he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David. Right. So yeah, he's gonna be strong. Even the weakest of us is gonna be like David.
Okay.
All right. But for that everlasting life, again, you're gonna have to do it like Yahweh Shai said, man. You gotta believe on Him, and you have to do it as the Scriptures say it, right? And that's how you're gonna get that everlasting life. And when you go to 7? Yeah, there it is. Jesus. Second Ezra, I'm right here on the damn page. 2 verse 44.
Come on. 2 Ezra chapter 2 verse 44.
Let me know when y'all got it. Second Ezra in your pocket for 2 verse 44.
Come.
2 Ezra chapter 2 verse 44. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of the Most High. Now are they crowned and received palms. Then said I unto the angel, What young person is it that crowneth them and giveth them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me.
See, so these are the ones that put off the mortal clothing and they put on the immortal. You see that? So these ones right here, they're going to be the ones that, read on.
God, it is the Son of the Most High, whom they have confessed in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord.
See that? So these are the ones that are going to stand so stiffly for the name of the Most High. These are the ones that are going to receive those crowns from the Most High. They're going to put off the mortal and put on the immortal. You understand?
Con.
So these are the ones, those are those same ones that you're reading about with that are part of that 144,000 that are clothed in those white robes. Watch this. Go to Revelation 7. And you're going to read verse 13.
Revelation chapter 7 verse 13. And one of the elders
answered. Start at 9.
Verse 9. Revelation chapter 7 verse 9.
Con.
God.
Revelation chapter 7 verse 9. After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude which no man could number, of all nations and kindred and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands.
And what in their hands?
And palms in their hands.
White robes and palms in their hands. Same people that we're reading about in 2nd Esdras, right?
Come.
Go ahead. These are the ones that put off the mortal and put on the immortal.
Verse 10. And cried with a loud voice, saying, Salvation to our God, our power, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb. And all the angels stood around about the throne and about the elders and the 4 beasts, and fell up before the throne on their faces and worshiped the Most High, saying, Amen. Blessings and glory and wisdom and thanksgiving and honor and power and might be unto our power forever and ever. Amen. Verse 13. And one of the elders answered, saying unto me, What are these which are arrayed in white robes, and whence camest they? And I said unto them, I said unto him.
Where you at?
Verse 14.
Okay. So he said, who are these people? So he said, and one of the elders answered, saying unto me, What are these which are arrayed in white robes, and whence came they? All right, so this is how you know that we ain't all going to know what the Israelites look like, because when the elder came to John the Revelator and said, Who are these people in the white robes? He said what? Verse 14.
And I said to him, Sir, thou knowest, and he
said, shoot, you know. You understand? Because he didn't know. You understand? He couldn't tell you what these people, who these people were. All right, read on.
And he said to me, These are they which came out of a great tribulation, and have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb.
Right.
Therefore are they before the throne of the Most High, and serve him day and night in his temple.
See that? They gonna serve him day and night in his temple. Alright? So these are gonna be the ones that stood so stiffly for the word of the Most High. These are gonna be those that were not defiled with women, right? They didn't get led astray by women and anything else, that the strange woman that can lead them off into any other kind of temptation. You understand? Not talking about those that were just never had sex. You see that? Because otherwise, how do you get into that when it says in Isaiah 60 that the little ones are going to become a strong nation? How do you get into that if these cats is not going to be having sex ever? You got to have sex to become a strong nation, right? You got to have children. So these are the things that we got to understand, is what the scripture's showing us is these men are going to have that. All right, and these, when you read the rest of, when you start up in verse 7 or chapter 7, that's the 144,000 being sealed, right? The governing body.
Come.
All right. So the rest of us, we're gonna live on this earth. The rest of them. I ain't trying to be one of them. The rest of them, though, they're gonna be living a long time on this earth.
Come.
You understand? It's like it says in Psalms. He should be like a tree that's planted by the water. Right? How long do trees live? You see that? They're going to be getting to live for hundreds of years. Alright?
I just thought that like the people who follow Christ, who believe, and those are the ones that actually make it to the kingdom. So, and I thought those are the ones that have eternal life. So
that's how few there's gonna be.
I know that's where it's getting me.
Yeah, you gotta remember, bro, that 2/3 of Israel is gonna be cut off for being wicked, for joining themselves to the wicked. All right. Then the 1/3 that's left is gonna be the ones that were hanging out with us. They heard the word, or they were on YouTube and they followed and stuff like that, but they never really became leaders. They never tried to take on that burden. So that's gonna be the 1/3 we're gonna be ruling. They're gonna be the ones that they're gonna live for a long time, and then they drop dead and then they come back. Right? They're gonna keep living like that. But those that have put off the mortal clothing, like they haven't decided, hey, you know what? My family's more important, so I gotta stick with them, and I'll watch y'all on YouTube. Or my family's more important, so I'm gonna stick with them, and I'm not coming to class ever. But I'm gonna sew fringes on my shirt, right? Those are gonna be the ones that they're gonna be there, but they're just gonna be living and dying. You see that? But the ones that decided they were gonna lead, that they was gonna take on that burden, that they was gonna be the ones up all day and all night, receiving texts, making phone calls, counseling, being there for a brother, being there for a sister. Those, they get that everlasting life, man. They're gonna be entrusted with that. You see that? And that's where you get into, is it 22? Yeah, that's the one. 14. 22:14.
Come. Revelation chapter 22, verse 14. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city.
See that? That they may enter into the gates into this city, right? So these are the ones it's going to tell you, for without are dogs, and sorcerers, and whoremongers, and murderers, and idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. Everybody that's doing that, they ain't gonna have no life at all. You understand? But these ones that put that off, they're gonna get to come in and live for a longer time. It's gonna be like back in the days of Adam and Eve and all that. Okay. You understand? And Noah and all that. But the righteous, the ones that are of that 144,000, that governing body, they're going to live forever. Alright? Because those are the ones that are going to take on the same life like Christ did. They're going to have died for this truth, man. So, to them, they're going to be granted that immortal.
Okay, I thought that you had to be that in order just to get into the kingdom.
No. Which kingdom, though? The kingdom here?
No, not this kingdom there.
Right.
Not this kingdom, but
yeah,
the kingdom to come.
Remember, the flesh and blood cannot inherit that. All right. This mortal must put on immortality.
Right.
So you're gonna have to shed the flesh in order to live forever. So that either comes through death or the Most High just take you. All right. What's that?
I had a question in Revelation chapter 20, because it was talking about the 1,000-year reign and the second death. So basically, like when Christ comes, like everything gonna be just straight destroyed right then, because the people that's in the grave who died without Christ, they gonna still be there until after the 1,000-year reign, correct? If I'm interpreting it correctly, you know what I'm saying? I'm not sure.
Yeah, 20 verse 4, and I saw thrones, and they sat, and they that sat upon them, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them, and I saw the spirits of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua, and for the word of the Most High, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads, or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years. Now, that again, you going into like Revelation breakdown again. So
no. I'm talking about like when you keep going though, and say, but the rest of the dead live not again until 1,000 years were finished.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first resurrection.
Right, and that's what I'm talking about. You going into there's a deeper understanding to that.
Right.
And let me get it real quick, man.
Because it was seeming like even those that reigned with Christ, when he lose Satan again, it's like all of them who was reigning with him ended up being deceived, and then, you know what I'm saying, the Most High sent that fire down, sent them down to the lake of fire with the devil and everybody, all the other little demons and stuff.
Right.
That make it kind of narrative right there, man.
So when you got the souls, all the apostles and saints who were put to death for the word of Christ and the Most High, and would not follow the white man / the beast or his image, the false depiction of Christ, Caesar Borgia, and would not receive his mark in their forehead, their knowledge of religion and politics, in their hands, their works. They weren't working to uphold the kingdom, like the armed forces, the police department, all that. So these are what they talk about in verse 4. All right, that these were beheaded for the sake of Christ. These were the apostles and the prophets of old. All right, and even the ones that are going to do that's going to happen to in these last days. And then when you get to verse 5, those dead, those that were destroyed in that World War III destruction of America, because there's going to be another world war. That's what I said. The first war was past, 2 more woes are come. Then they say the second woe was past, 1 more woe has come. That's that. The World War I, World War II. There's going to be a World War III. You understand?
Oh, that's the Armageddon,
Right.
right?
The so-called Armageddon, yeah. But this one is the ones that weren't destroyed in that World War. All right, these are the ones that are going to be there, and that's going to be the spiritual and mental awakening of the 144,000. All right, and it says they followed Christ and they died. They're gonna get to laid out for that 1,000 years. They're gonna get that rest. They're not gonna have to come back and do this again. All right, and then there's some that's gonna have to come back. But
So what's the difference between verse 4 and verse 6? Because they both of them, it's like it's showing like 2 different 1,000-year reigns of Christ.
right, and those are the ones that are delivered before the bomb strike America. When you read verse 6, it says, "Blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection. On such the second death hath no power, but they shall be priests of the Most High and of Yahushua, and shall reign with him 1,000 years." See that? Right. These are the ones that they're not going to see death. They're not going to die. They're going to be the ones delivered before the bomb strike America. So there's going to be a deliverance. Somebody had asked that earlier. Are we going to be delivered from that destruction? There's going to be the section of those that are delivered from those bombs striking America. You understand? That's a future prophecy. They're going to be delivered from before that World War III is ended by the bombs. You understand? And they're going to be delivered by Christ. They're going to be set apart into a place where that doesn't touch them. And when they come, they're going to be. I'm gonna get you. When they come from that deliverance, they won't die. They're going to be the priests of the Most High and Christ, and they're going to reign with Christ 1,000 years. So those are the ones that are, if heirs, then joint heirs with Christ. You understand? What's that?
So it basically like go with that precept when they was talking about how a man is gonna be like 1 man to a city or 10 man to a city, something like that, and then like men be happy to see each other, like you know what I'm talking about, like the ones that are gonna be spared from that. That's basically what it's gonna be come down to.
Yeah,
when
yeah. I mean, I don't know exactly where that part is, but yeah, you're gonna be happy to see each other because you weren't destroyed, man.
So it was like it's gonna be skills to see a man. You know what I'm saying? Ain't gonna be nobody around.
Right. Yeah. I'm looking for something else too, man. That's what it is. Right, that ain't it. Okay. Did that help with yours?
We're gonna talk more. We gotta talk more.
Yeah, it's a lot to that, man.
Yeah,
and all of it is not right on hand with me right now.
Right. But yeah, it did help. It did help.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because Terry Barton had asked if the Most High was going to lead his people from the destruction. So yeah, that will happen. That's what we just read. If you fornicate with a hood rat, how do you break the connection when you cleave unto flesh? You're not supposed to fornicate with a hood rat. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to commit fornication. 1 Corinthians 6 verse 16 is what they put. So let's look at that. Yeah. 6 verse 16.
1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 16. What? Know ye not that he which is joined to an harlot is one body? For two, said he, shall be one flesh.
Right. So they're saying, if you fornicate with a hood rat, how do you break the connection when you cleave unto the flesh, when you're cleaved unto the flesh? Read verse 15. You know what? 13. Start at 13.
1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 13. Meats for the belly, and the belly for meats. But God shall destroy both it and them.
Right. So the things that's going to go for the belly, the things that's going to go for your desires. All right. Those things are for your desires. That's you gonna give whatever you want to your desires, right? And he said, and the desires are for those things. You desire for those things, but the Most High going to destroy both of you because you don't desire the Most High. You ain't chasing after Him. He going to destroy both of you, the desire and the desirer. All right.
And don't the Most High also tell it? I don't remember exactly where it's at. But he said, "Join not thyself to an harlot."
Oh yeah, we're gonna read on. Go ahead.
Okay, count. 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 13, second precept. Now the body is not for fornication.
So the Most High did not give you your body so that you could be a fornicator, so you can go around sleeping with everything you see. All right. So how does one? What if you fornicate with a hood rat? There should be no what if you fornicate with a hood rat. You understand? Now, generally, if you got a true hood rat and you start dropping to her that, yeah, listen, because we had sex, we're married, she gonna leave you anyway. So she off to the next one. So that's gonna sever it. Just giving her the truth, 9 times out of 10 will get rid of that. Now, in that 1%, all right, that little 10 percentile that wants to stay around, that 1 out of 10, they want to just make your life a living hell. And she still want to try to play the hoe on you, but you trying to turn her into a housewife kind of thing. In that situation, you're joined to her, man. If she's like, okay, I'm your wife, well, you screwed. You got to deal with that. Right. She'd be pleased to dwell with you. But here's the thing. That's why you got to be careful where you put it. You understand? That's why he said this. Read on.
But for the Lord.
See, the body's not for fornication, it's for the Most High. Go ahead.
And the Lord for the body.
Right.
And God hath both raised up the Lord and will also raise up us by his own power.
Go ahead.
Know ye not that your bodies are the members of Christ? Shall I then take the members of Christ and make them the members of an harlot?
Right. Should I go and take what's supposed to be holy and give it to the dogs? Should I go and okay, I'm a holy priest and I teach the Bible, and here's my wife with her vagina hanging out in her mini skirt, like that dumb idiot on that preacher. She's a chick and she got her boobs just hanging out, and on a few of them her nip slips out and everything, and her man sitting right there just with the stupid thank you Jesus face on it. Like, why you letting your woman dress like that? Why you letting her breast pop out? You see that? Yeah, it's like, no, that's not what that's for. You joined to a harlot right now. Now you look like you is one of her Johns. You don't look like a husband. You look like a client. You see that?
Yeah.
Right. No, he don't look like a pimp. Trust me. That nigga look like a client. He look like he gotta pay for it a lot. All right, go ahead.
Yah forbid.
Right. He said, "Should I take the members of Christ and join them to a harlot? God forbid." Go ahead.
What? Know ye not that he which is joined to an harlot is one body?
See that? Go ahead.
For two, said he shall be one flesh.
Go ahead.
But he that is joined unto the Lord is one spirit. Flee fornication.
Do what?
Flee fornication.
Don't sleep with no hood rats. You understand? Don't do it. Flee from that. All right? Hood rat chick come, run to the clinic just for breathing the air on her. Just go. Simple as that. You know what I mean? Do a nice healthy cleanse, you know what I mean? And go get some herbs, something, whatever. Douse yourself in whatever ointment they giving you for hurt and all that. Just bathe in it. Backstroke. Yeah, flee fornication, all right? Oh, man. But yeah, if you're saying like you already did it, like I said, 9 times out of 10, if you show her that, hey, sex is marriage, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, I'm about this Christ life, she gonna leave you anyway. Like, leave a outline of herself in the wall. Like old cartoons. Right? And then they used to run from Casper the Friendly Ghost. The Holy Ghost! Oh! The eyes gonna pop out and then they gonna run out the damn wall. You ain't gonna see her no more. So don't worry about it. Let's see. Question. In the kingdom, do we all get our original color back? Meaning the lighter brown or the confusion of faces? Well, we just seen it. All those people that was receiving palms, they weren't known. You couldn't tell who they were. Right. All right. But again, when he there's gonna come a time where he give you that in that twinkling of an eye and he change you. You're gonna put on that immortality. You're gonna put on that spiritual body. All right. So you be able to appear however you want to, just like the angels. I thought somebody's hand went up. Let's see. Romans 3 verse 7. I don't know if that's a question or a statement.
I believe that was a statement when we were speaking about Romans 3. I think he posted that at that same time.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's a statement?
Possibly.
Let's see. Romans 3 verse 7. Oh, yeah. Read it.
Romans chapter 3 verse 7. For if the truth of the Most High hath more abounded through my lie unto his glory, why yet am I also judged as a sinner?
Because he don't believe.
Oh, no. Read on. He said, for the truth of the Most High has more abounded through my lie unto his glory, why yet am I also judged as a sinner? So if I'm lying about something that doesn't give me any glory and gives the Most High all the glory, then why are you counting me as a sinner?
Right.
Okay, I'm lying, but I'm lying about the Most High to give him more glory? Who does that? You know what I mean?
Probably what he think he was doing was telling a lie, but it was actually.
That was the problem. He's teaching them about the resurrection of the dead. He's teaching them Christ came back from the dead, and they like, nah, that you lying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, if I'm lying about what? Something the Most High did? I didn't say I brought his ass back to life. I told you the power of the Most High brought Christ back to life. If that same spirit that raised Christ from the dead dwell in you, he shall quicken your mortal body, not me.
Right.
So if you believe in the Most High more because I lied about Christ coming back from the dead, well, so be it, I guess. Why you calling me a sinner? If I'm trying to embellish to make the most, to make the Most High more solid for you. But that's not what he was doing. That's why it says, read on.
Verse 8, and not rather as we be slanderous, reported.
Right. See, that's why I put it in parentheses. He said, and not rather as we be slanderously reported, and as some affirm that we say. Right. Go ahead.
Let us do evil, that good may come, whose damnation is just.
See, why am I not rather just saying, hey, y'all go do what you want? We free.
Mm-hmm.
But, that's why in parentheses he said some people are saying that. Why? Because you got niggas to this day saying Paul is trying to do away with the law. He wasn't about that Torah. You mean the Pharisee wasn't about the Torah?
Right.
What are you talking about? That's all they knew. They didn't know past the Torah. They just like you. They just believe in the first 5 books, and then all the ones that tell them to act, okay, get up and do it, and do what the apostles did, and die for the prophets did, and die for this word. Oh, I ain't doing that. you understand? Because before the first 5 books, or during the first 5 books, you didn't have nobody having to be a martyr. That's what niggas don't want to do. You didn't have to be a martyr. You was living. You know what I mean? But after that, you end up with Samson. You end up with you end up with these people that was having to take it to the death. Jeremiah, Isaiah, Amos, all these men that was having to take it until somebody killed them. Right? I'm gonna stick to these first 5. If you scared, nigga, go to church. Don't put it on the Bible and be like, hey, that was written by man. Wait. So after the first 5 books, niggas just started writing in there like graffiti artists. That don't make sense. Right. I'm trying to figure out where they getting this logic from. Like, wait a minute. So they was all holy in the first 5 books, and then Dr. Seuss came along and said, hey, I can add to that. And then Shakespeare came along in Psalms and put Shakes in his spirit 47 verses later. And then, he got his hand in there. And then like, what the hell are you thinking, man? You don't read this book to know that these books were compiled before 100 AD. They were compiled before the Council of Nicaea. It was compiled before the other one, man, damn it. The one with Martin Luther and all that, all the little councils and all that they had, it was compiled before that. It was compiled before the New Testament. I'm saying before the New Testament, before Christ. These books were compiled with the prophets in there. That's what Christ was always quoting the prophets, because you could go to a book that they had compiled in Malachi chapter 3, verse 16, that book of remembrance. You could look in there and say, oh, hey, Jeremiah. Hey, Isaiah. Hey, this guy. They all died for the truth. Maccabees, they died for the truth. Ratzis and Zechariah and these other apostles and prophets and high priests and things like that, they all died for the truth. Y'all see that? Well, I'm Torah only. I only do the first 5 books, because ain't nobody dying for the truth in there. You understand? Ain't no martyrs in that part. Nobody had to go get stoned for Yahweh's sake. Nobody had to go get put on a cross. Nobody had to go get put to death for the word of the truth. Yeah, that's a great time to live in. And the first 5 books, that's a great time to live in. What, you gonna take out? Do they take out Joshua? Yeah, Genesis. Yeah, so Joshua came right after Moses, so niggas just start writing at that point.
Right.
You know what I mean? They just continued the story of Joshua. I got this, bro. Ninjas. Like, what? Polar bears, what? Like, they just added their own stuff in there?
Right.
Made a whole different story around Joshua? Come on, man. But, you gotta watch people, man. So, they were slanderously reporting about Paul that all he was about was going against the Torah, that he didn't know nothing about it, that he was saying, listen, you know, he's lying about Christ being resurrected, and he's also talking about that we're just supposed to run around and be free and do what we want to, which was a slander he's showing you. All right? So when you read that verse 7 and 8, that wording gets a little difficult, but you have to have been kind of steeped in that British literature culture. You have to have been kind of, you know, been learned and reading many books, especially older books. You know what I mean? You can't go off of the books you read nowadays. You know what I mean? Harry Potter and Vampire Diaries and all that. What's the other? Not Vampire Diaries. The gayer version of Vampire Diaries. What's that? Twilight. Yeah. If you've been reading that stuff, no, you're not going to understand the writing of the Bible of biblical times. All right. But if you've been immersed in older books, coming through an educational process, you'll understand Paul better. And I'm not saying that you lack in education. I'm saying his wording is a little thick. All right. So he's showing you that if he was lying about this thing, that you know, when you lie, you do it to bring glory to yourself, right? Man, I caught me a 60-pound bass. Damn, with what? With my fishing pole. What you talking about? No, man. 60-pound bass is like half your weight. Stop it. You know what I mean? That's like the weight of a little kid. You didn't catch no 60-pound bass with that fishing pole. Not with the fishing pole you bought from Walmart. Stop it. You see that? People lie for their own glory. But what? Paul's lying about Christ being resurrected to glorify the Most High. That don't make no damn sense. You see that? So that's what he's saying. If the truth of the Most High is more abounded through my lie, right, unto His glory, why am I being judged as a sinner? If I'm sitting here, you know, I'm not saying I caught a 60-pound bass. I'm saying the Most High dropped a 60-pound bass on my boat. Okay, well, it never happened, but now you know about the Most High. Why you count me as a sinner? Y'all see that? Now, again, that's why he's showing you he was being slanderously reported that he was lying about this. This is not something he was lying about. He's more being like sarcastic. So if the truth of the Most High is abounded by my lie, you know what I mean, then why you count me as a sinner? No, I'm not lying for my own sake. And he said, and not rather as we be slanderously reported, and as some affirm that we say, let us do evil, that good may come. So he's saying, like, some people are saying, hey, let's keep doing evil, let's do away with the law, so we can have good come around. That don't make no damn sense, right? It says, whose damnation is just. So those people that say that about me, their damnation is just. So that's what he's talking about. These people was lying on Paul back then, saying he was going against the law. He didn't want to carry the law. He didn't want that. He wanted people to stop obeying the law. And you got people that do that today. Again, they want to throw away that part of the Bible because why? Paul got shipwrecked. He got beaten. He got stoned to death and brought back so he could do it all again. And then he got exiled on the Isle of Patmos, he ended up shipwrecked on some island, and then he grew old and died on some other island in exile, man. He didn't even get to come back to Rome. He didn't come back to his own home country. Y'all see that? So, who wants to live like that? The few, the proud, the Israelites. You know what I mean? The real ones. You see that? So hopefully that brought a little understanding to you right there. What else we got? Hey, y'all good in Trinidad though, right? Ain't nobody having to swim to get to the computer or nothing, right? Zephaniah 3 verse 8 through 13. Let's get that. So this is going to be a Q&A session. Zephaniah 3 verse 8 through 13. Somebody give me that real quick. Studying. Huh?
It's Zephaniah 3, sir, not Zephaniah 8.
No, 3 verse 8.
Oh.
Yeah, 3 verse 8 through 13.
Zephaniah chapter 3. You said 8 through?
3 verse 8 through 13.
Okay, come. Verse 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, said the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. For then will I turn to the people in pure language. For then will I turn to the people a pure language, that they may all call upon the name of the Most High, to serve him with one consent. From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my suppliants.
Okay, so 3 verse 8 through 13. Okay. So he's going to gather the nations together. He also says this in Joel chapter 3. He's going to gather the nations together into the valley of Jehoshaphat. He's going to plead with them there for his people. That's what you read in Joel chapter 3. So he's going to gather these nations together, all right, and pour out his wrath and his indignation on them. He's going to be slaughtering, all right. And he said, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. All right. So what he's showing you is all the peoples, all the wicked of the earth, not like the actual whole earth. Otherwise, there won't be no Israel. All right. Go ahead. Verse 9. For then will I return to the people a pure language. So he's going to return to us that Hebrew language, that original language that him and the angels speak, and that Christ spoke when he knocked Paul off his horse. He heard him speaking in the Hebrew tongue, right? Because once you get there, you go back to that original language that was given to all mankind, which is inscribed on cuneiform tablets and all that stuff like that from all the way back. It's the original language. When you read about cuneiform or cuneiform, that's actually called Old Hebrew. Well, they call it Old Canaanite, right? Which is Hebrew codified into a written language. All right. So if you were to speak the things you saw on a cuneiform tablet or cuneiform tablet, you would be speaking Hebrew. All right. So that's before even the Paleo Hebrew of 900 BC. So he's going to return that language back to the people. Go ahead.
Zechariah chapter 3 and verse 10. From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my suppliants, even the daughter of my dispersed, shall bring mine offering.
Right, so that's when you get into Isaiah 60, where all these kings is going to be your nursing fathers, and their queens are your nursing mothers, and he's going to bring your sons and your daughters from afar, and all the forces of the Gentiles will be converted unto you. So all that's outlined in Isaiah chapter 60. Go ahead.
In that day shalt thou not be ashamed for all thy doings.
Right, that's Isaiah 45 verse 17. Right? But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. You shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. See, my brain's starting to work now. Go ahead.
There you go.
It took a while to kickstart.
Wherein thou hast transgressed against me. For then I will take away out of the midst of thee them that rejoice in thy pride, and thou shalt no more be haughty because of my holy mountain.
See that? So he gonna take away all the prideful, all the ones that got their head all in the clouds talking about they new J's and they new Gucci this and they Fendi that. They gonna get thrown out. He gonna take them away. All right, go ahead.
I will also leave in the midst of thee an afflicted and poor people. And they shall trust in the name of the Most High.
Right.
The remnant of Israel shall not do iniquity.
So when you start verse 1, he's talking to the oppressing city. So he left in the middle of the oppressing city, America, right? He left in there his people. So he's showing you that. Where you at? Verse 11?
Verse 13, second precept.
Right. No. I will also, verse 12, I will also leave in the midst of thee an afflicted and poor people, and they shall trust in the name of the Lord. So that's where you get to Revelations 2 and 9. I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. So he's going to leave you. He's going to leave in the midst of America a poor and afflicted people. He's going to leave in the midst of the Western Hemisphere and all the related Edomite nations and tributaries and all that. He's going to leave in the middle of them the afflicted people. And where are we? We always in the middle of the damn city. We in the urban areas.
Right.
Not the suburban areas. That's when we move out there, they become urban areas. Right?
Oh,
Yeah. Like one black dude move into a neighborhood and all of a sudden all the nice white picket fences graffitied up. You know what I mean? There's 5 damn cars in the damn lawn. Right? Oh, that's his car. My bad. You know what I mean? Like we're in the urban areas. We in the midst of the cities all the damn time.
mm-hmm.
All right, we're in the 5 points, the Martin Luther King streets, the 3rd wards, the 5th wards. We're in those in every nation on the planet. All the ghettos.
Right.
Even the definition of the word ghetto is a place where the Jews live. All right, what's
And
that?
I found out the word ward mean just like jail or
Yep.
prison. So that's what they basically saying. That's what we live at. We live in jail.
Yeah, they know.
Yeah.
They know.
Yeah.
All right, so he's gonna leave us in the middle of the oppressing city. So you gotta see who this message is addressed to, so there's no confusion. Verse 13.
Verse 13. Zechariah chapter 3 and verse
So
13.
in this land of this oppressing and filthy, polluted city, we are going to call on the name of the Lord. And we're going to start trusting on the name of the Lord. Why? Because we won't have nothing else to trust in. We won't have a president to trust in. All our leaders are going to be coons and porch monkeys. So we ain't going to be able to trust in them. Right? They are all the leaders of the people going to cause us to err. And those are the led of them. Right? We're going to go astray. We're going to be messed up. Go ahead.
The remnant of Israel shall not do iniquity.
See, we're going to learn to stop doing iniquity, man. We're not the remnant, not the whole of Israel, the remnant. All right? So remember that. This helps answer some of those questions from earlier, too. There's going to be a remnant. It's not going to be all of Israel, the remnant of Israel. Go ahead.
Nor speak lies.
Right, they won't do iniquity. They won't speak lies. Go ahead.
Neither shall a deceitful tongue be found in their mouth.
Uh-huh.
For they shall feed and lie down, and none shall make them afraid.
That's a beautiful scripture, man. We're going to be able to eat and lay down, and ain't nobody we ain't going to have to be afraid of the cops coming and, hey, you black in the wrong neighborhood, bro. You got to go. Right. Is that a gun? No, it's a sandwich. Right? It ain't going to be no more of that.
Go to sleep with the dog.
Right. Yeah. You can have screen doors again. Remember those? You don't even have those in Texas. I ain't even seen them since we've been.
Hey, we used to have back in the 80s.
That's what I'm saying.
One on his house.
Because you used to be able to leave your damn door open.
Right. Especially when it rains.
Yeah. You have the screen door. That just kept the flies out. Now you got to have the big oak door to keep the big two-legged niggas out. The big flies out.
Right.
You know what I mean? The ones that want to buzz around your stuff. You understand? You gotta leave them. You gotta wipe them out. I noticed that when I came here. Like, damn, nobody got screen doors. Nobody got nobody has fences in the front yard. I don't get that one.
You gotta pay for it now yourself.
Yeah, they used to be fences all in the front yard. Like when I was in Colorado, everybody had fences in the front yards and all that. Come down here, you just got a front yard lead right to the street. Oh, you want your kids to play outside? They better play in the backyard. You know what I mean? Because it's easy pickings now. They go outside, somebody just drive by, snatch them right up. There ain't no fence. You know what I mean? Dog run through the neighborhood, eat them. No fence. I don't understand this place, man. This place annoys the hell out of me, man.
It's like that in Fresno, California too.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, because I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, yeah, there wasn't no fences unless someone had just put up like one of them chain type fences.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. In Colorado, you had those like mandatory standard.
No, it's not like that in Fresno.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you know what? I remember that in Colorado before we left, like all the new neighborhoods started not having fences either, man.
Mm-hmm.
They don't give a damn about your kids, man.
Yeah, and like you're saying, it was the older houses that I'm thinking of that had the fences.
Yeah.
But the newer ones didn't.
Yeah, because I remember me and my boy, we used to play soccer, man, in the front yard. His fence was a goal, my fence was a goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, you don't have fences now. You kick the ball, go in the street, you get hit by a car, you're dead. Right under the sign that said, slow down, we care for our children.
Right.
Yeah, okay, then build some damn fences.
Right.
I don't get this place, man, but this is where we are. So, in our land, though, we'll be able to eat and lie down and be in safety, man. So keep that hope alive. That's a good scripture, though. Can you explain Proverbs 27, verse 25 through 27? Y'all been studying your asses off, man. What time is it? Hey, all right, let's get it. Proverbs 27, verse 25 through 27.
Proverbs chapter 27, verse 25.
No. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. 27, verse 25 through 27, right.
Proverbs chapter 27, verse 25. The hay appeareth, and the tender grass showeth itself, and herds of the mountains are gathered. The lambs are for thy clothing, and the goats are the price of the field. And thou shalt have goats' milk enough for thy food, for the food of thy household, and for the maintenance for thy maidens.
Okay. So you're going to have to start basically at 23. Be thou diligent to know the state of thy flocks, and look well to thy herds. For riches are not forever, and does the crown endure to every generation? The ruler of the people should be taking care of the people, should be taking care of fellow Israelites, and not looking toward his own things. Y'all see that? And you should be diligent to know the state of your people. You should be diligent to be checking on your brothers and your sisters. You understand? It said, because why? Because if you chase after riches, riches are not forever. You understand? He said, and does the crown endure to every generation? No, because sometimes whole families get wiped out, and that crown don't even pass to them, right? So the things we chase in this life, is your Golden Globe Award going to endure to every generation? Hell no. Anybody going to know your kids? You know what I mean? Oh, Jim Carrey got all kinds of awards, but what his kids got? You know what I mean? David Wayans, he got all kinds of awards from In Living Color and all these other little series, but what his kids got? You know what I mean? What's that show? Some girl, New Girl.
Yeah.
That's what his son gets. Play a gay cop.
Oh, man.
That's what his son gets, right? So that don't endure to every generation. You understand? Read on. Let's see.
That was it. 27.
Right. It said the hay appeared, and the tender grass showeth itself, and herbs of the mountains are gathered. See that? So all these things are things that grow up and then they die. The lambs are for your clothing. So the lambs grow up and then you end up killing them and wearing their bodies, wearing their clothes, wearing their skins and their wool. And the goats are the price of the field. It said, and thou shalt have goat's milk enough for thy food, for the food of thy household, and for the maintenance of thy maiden. So he's telling you basically, if you'll be diligent to look after your thing, the things that are under you, you'll always have. You'll have plenty. All right? And what is that one? Is it 25? 24? Let me see. No, definitely not that one. They had a Diligent Shabarable. Just gave it to y'all the other day. They had a Diligent Shabarable. Slothful should be on the tribute. Ah, 12.
Brain fart. Ooh.
Where did it go?
1924.
Huh?
I'm just looking at my notes from when the.
That sounds right. Let me see. No.
No, that's not it.
That's not it.
So
All those sound familiar. All the Proverbs get jumbled up in my head. 15, 18. No. There you go. All right, type in diligent, and then you'll find it. Alright? No hard. But that's all it's telling you is be diligent to watch over these things, be diligent to watch over the things you have, and you'll have more. You won't have to worry about, be diligent to watch over your people and as a leader, and you'll be able to live off of the works that they do.
Is that the one you wanted though? Or you wanted that one?
Yeah. The thoughts of the diligent, 21 and 5. The thoughts of the diligent tend only toward plenteousness. Alright, so everything that a diligent man is thinking about, it's gonna prosper. It's gonna tend toward plenteousness. It's gonna tend toward increasing those things. See that? So if you're diligent to know about the things that are under you, right? So as a leader, we use this to show other leaders in training that, listen, you gotta be diligent to know your people, because who are the Most High's pasture? Who are the flock? According to Ezekiel 34 and 31, they're men. Alright, so if you're watching after your men, then you're going to be able to eat off their works. If you're diligent, then, like we do with brothers, we train them up and train them up and train them up, then they go work EO, and they're able to make money off over there, and brothers are able to get paid off of that, right? And we're able to put that into the congregation and be able to pay for the lights in the school and stuff like that. That keeps them from having to go work for the white man. Y'all see that?
Proverbs chapter 12, verse 24. It says, the hands of the diligent shall bear rule.
Did I just look at that?
Yeah.
But the slothful shall be under
Mandela
tribute.
effect.
I just looked at it.
Wow, man. I swear, did I just say that?
Yeah.
Mandela effect. That's what it is. Alright. Said the hand of the diligent shall bear rule, man.
Yep.
Y'all see that? So if you're diligent to know your flocks and your herds and keep after your things and keep after those under you, then you'll be able to eat off of those things that you're taking care of. But if you're not diligent, what happens? Wolves come in, bears come in, lions come in, all that stuff disappear on you. You see that? The sheep walk away, go off and leave, and then you ain't getting them back. Alright? Okay. So that was an adventure. That's crazy. I was looking dead at that. Wow. So, Shalom, can you explain Romans 3 verse 24? For all have sinned, and was he talking about everybody, including Yahushua, when that was stated?
Romans chapter 3 verse 24. Being justified freely by his grace through the redemption that is in Yahushua.
What?
3 24.
You gotta read up though.
Yeah, I don't know what he's asking though. He said something about for all have sinned, and was he talking about everybody, including Yahushua, when that was stated?
23.
He's talking about 23.
3 verse 23.
For all have sinned and come short of the glory of the Most High.
Okay, well, read 22.
Even the righteousness of the Most High, which is by faith of Yahushua, unto all and upon all them that believe, for there is no difference.
So, yeah, clearly that's going to exclude Yahushua from all have sinned and come short of the glory of the Most High. See that? Because when you read 24, being justified freely by his grace through the redemption that is in Yahushua. So we get justified and we get forgiveness for the sins that we've done because Yahushua didn't sin. Because he made that sacrifice and showed us how to be, and showed us that example of how not to sin. Y'all see that? So now we have no loophole. Now we have no way out to say, oh, I can't do that. Can't nobody keep all them laws. Like y'all is here in the church. Can't nobody keep all them laws? Well, Christ did. Alright.
Lucifer and Satan the same.
ex-girlfriend from 6th grade asked me not out yesterday, but she's got fat. Should I reject in her public or through text message?
Really?
Yeah, you on the wrong channel, man. Dr. Phil a couple doors down, bro.
They think you're a vlog channel.
You know what I mean? Yeah, is your contrast working? He's not Dr. Phil. He's just the same haircut. It's just the same haircut. Wow.
You skipped over a question, sir.
Did I?
Con.
Can you explain? No.
So Ishmael, is he Israel's oldest cousin?
Is Ishmael Israel's oldest cousin? No, Israel wasn't formed yet when Ishmael was alive. That's between Isaac and Ishmael. So they're brothers. He would be like our uncle.
Right.
Our nasty gay uncle that sold us into slavery. That guy. Alright.
Like the old pedophile uncle that
Yeah.
gets drunk.
Yeah, they're known as the Arabs today. So that's direct correlation. They're the nasty, dirty uncle that sold us into slavery.
It's like the drunk uncle in your family.
Right. You know what I mean? That doesn't touch alcohol though. Because that's
yeah.
not halal.
There it is.
But it belongs to your chest.
Only moonshine.
Right.
It's not
I'm
halal.
not gonna keep going, man. Someone will run up in here and blow us all to bits. That's a funny question though. Are the leaders of various camps only selected to be part of 144,000? No, like Paul said, we dare not make ourselves of that number. So if you got any nigga running up talking about he's Peter, he's this, he's that apostle, and he's gonna be in the 144,000 and all that stuff. No.
Sure.
All right. Paul said it. We dare not make ourselves of that number. Let me get that real quick. We want to be there, like the little song says that you learned in church, right? When the saints go marching in. But we want to be in that number, but we dare not make ourselves of that number.
2 Corinthians 10.
You got it? Perfect.
2 Corinthians 7:12.
Second Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 12. For we dare not make ourselves of the number.
Right. So if anybody's coming at you talking about, I'm Peter resurrected. No, you're not. You shouldn't dare. Even Paul didn't dare make himself of that number, that 144,000, just off of that fear that he kept in it. Y'all see that?
Come.
Go ahead.
Or compare ourselves with some that
Commend themselves.
commend themselves, but they measuring themselves by themselves.
See, what's their problem?
Measuring themselves by themselves.
Right, they're not measuring themselves by Christ. They're saying, oh yeah, you know what, I think I'm of that number because I'm doing the works of Christ and I'm getting crucified right now and a nail just went in my hand. You know what I mean? No, they're not commending themselves by that standard. They're commending themselves by themselves. They just like, you know what I mean? I got my YouTube channel. I have 1 subscriber. Make sure you wipe my throne seat off. Right? Like, no, that's not you. We dare not make ourselves of that number or number ourselves with them that commend themselves. All right? Because why? Because they're measuring themselves by their own selves. They're not measuring themselves by Christ, by any of the apostles, by any of the prophets, what they see in the middle of everybody. That's why Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, all that's so famous. Why white niggas got 1,000-page photo albums of themselves. They little picture on the camera, they like, yeah, that's good for public consumption. Knowing you ugly as hell. Y'all see that?
Gone.
What's that?
Maybe he's also asking, because the thought kind of ran through my mind when you were explaining earlier. That the 144,000 would be people that end up holding these offices.
Maybe. But remember, there's many that's going to say, Lord, Lord, didn't we cast out demons in your name? And in your name did all these mighty works and all that? And then he's going to say, depart from me, I never knew you, General.
God.
You understand?
God, yeah. Just because when you were explaining earlier, it kind of sounded like that. But yeah.
Yeah, like, are you the same general who was telling everybody if they don't follow you, they ain't in the truth? Okay, depart from me. I ain't know you.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
I knew the real Johanna, and you ain't him. Bye.
Mm-hmm.
Johanna, John, and he. Y'all see that? So no, there's gonna be many that's gonna be pushed aside and told no, you ain't gonna make it. And some of them are going to think many that are first are going to be last. You see that? And the last is going to be first. He's going to take that one humble one that was in the back just, hey, I'm just following the general. I like the words coming out of his mouth. I don't believe he's the Holy Spirit or nothing, but, I'm going to sweep this floor because Christ is watching. You understand? He's going to pick those. All right? But, we dare not make ourselves of that number. As a matter of fact, read verse 13.
Verse 13.
Oh, wait. Finish up.
And comparing themselves among themselves.
Right, and they compare themselves among themselves. Well, what makes you the apostle Paul? Because you're not. Like what? Mm-hmm. Well, somebody hit me with a rock before, so Paul got stoned. What you think? Yeah, you must be him. Oh, you stupid as hell. You gonna be one of my followers. You see that? They commend themselves by themselves, or they commend themselves among themselves. They ain't nobody else telling them, hey, listen, you know what? For your honest works and your hard work and your trustworthiness and all this, then we're gonna promote you to this level and just take this test and go ahead and we're gonna see if you got the wisdom and the patience to go ahead and pass this test, and then we'll make you this level. Nah, they commend themselves by themselves. No, I'm a general.
Oh,
who you talking to?
High priest.
Yeah. You. Oh, what you the general of? You. Well, what does that make me? You could be a lieutenant. Okay. What we doing? Go make a sign. We're gonna stand in the street like the niggas I seen on YouTube. You understand? What?
Or we the home of the truth because we kept the address.
Right.
What the hell are y'all talking about? You the home of the truth because you kept the address? Like,
wow.
I'm just, hey.
We stayed here. We the home of the truth.
The home of the truth.
I love it. Oh, man. Read on, man.
Are not wise.
But they're not wise because they're comparing themselves among themselves. They're not comparing themselves to the Bible. They're not comparing themselves to Christ and the apostles and other great men. Like when you read in, I think it's Ecclesiastes 4:44, he talks about let us praise great men. And then he lists what the great men did so you can praise people that do that. Nah, they number themselves among themselves, man. Damn, you put them scriptures quite quick, man. You're going to be on the 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Where did it say that at? Well, the fastest scripture puller gets in? That's all I had to do. Help me out with that one. Y'all see that?
Come.
Read on.
Verse 13. But we will not boast of things without our measure.
See, a real apostle, a real prophet, he's not going to boast of things that are above his measure, meaning above his knowledge. You don't know you was King David back in the day. You don't know you was Paul the apostle back in the day, so don't talk about you that right now. You understand?
Come.
Don't tell me you King David until you done killed 10,000 men. Then you come tell me I'm King David. I'll be like, okay, well, you done killed 10,000 men. I'll give you that. All right. Let's see. Yeah, we will not boast of things without our measure. Go ahead.
But according to the measure of the rule which God hath distributed to us.
This is the rule, the ruler that God has distributed to you to measure yourself by. How do you know you're of that number? If you measure up to this. If you measure up to the ruler. Y'all see that? If every page of your life lines up with every page of this book, Alright? Then you can say, okay, I'm of that number. Go ahead.
A measure to reach even unto you.
Wait,
Verse-
what?
A measure to reach even unto you.
Right. So this book reaches even unto you. Alright? And he goes on and shows you how that boasting and all that stuff is out. You gotta be out your damn mind. Yeah, you can read it like through 15 and stuff like that. You try to squeeze in one more question. Was that it?
There's one is Lucifer and Satan, the same people.
That's what you were gonna say that.
That's
Well, the word Lucifer means the light bringer, the light bearer. All right, and so when you go to Isaiah 14, you read about Lucifer.
Isaiah 14 and 12.
There you go.
Isaiah 14 and 12.
Now, when you go to Job, we'll start at is it 1 or 3?
Job chapter 1? Yeah, Job chapter 1 and verse.
Yeah. Hold that, but read
What, the Job first?
that one.
Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 12.
Go ahead.
How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning?
Right. So he's saying, "Oh, how thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning." Go ahead.
How art thou cut down to the ground,
Right.
which didst weaken the nations?
Right.
For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven.
Now, if he was Satan, then if this is Satan we're talking about in Isaiah 14, then in Job, what is he already doing in heaven?
Job chapter 1 verse 6.
Read.
Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord.
Right.
And Satan.
What's the Lord's address?
Heaven.
There you go. Heaven. All right. So if this one in Isaiah 14 had to ascend into heaven, then he's not the one that we're talking about. If he says in his heart, I'll ascend up into heaven, well, then that's talking about somebody down here. And what you're dealing with is that satanic spirit that is on a certain type of human. So let's go back to Isaiah 14. Hold where you're at in Job. We'll come back to it. All right, because we read about Satan being among those that reported to the Most High in his address. All right, so he didn't have to say, I will ascend into heaven. He was already up there. He works for the Most High. Did y'all know that Satan works for the Most High?
God.
Yeah, you got to report to him.
God.
Well, what'd you do? I ran to and fro to the earth. Oh, okay, cool. Did you look at my servant Job? You know the story. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 13, second precept. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God.
So, there's someone on the planet, I don't want to name any names, but they always claiming they went into the stars. And they're always trying to say that they're gonna go up into the heaven.
Got a space station.
Some people are doing that. And I ain't seen no niggas in orbit yet.
Right.
We mysteriously blow up before we get up there. Apparently the moon doesn't like black people. Was there supposed to be like some...
Sorry about y'all. I'm just trying to get something to eat tonight. I'm homeless guy. Could you help a homeless guy out with some dollar bills or whatever y'all spare?
We got food, canned food.
Huh?
We got canned food.
Canned food?
Yeah.
I was gonna get some tacos. That's what I wanted. Some tacos. Tacos.
What's that saying?
We got cans of food. That's about it. We teaching class right now.
All right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Right. Go ahead.
The thought hit you.
I say he said.
Yeah.
Trying to be nice, man.
Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 13, third precept. I will sit also.
See how he came right on cue though? The people that exalt themselves above the stars. Hey neighbor. Alright? That's them. That's them people. Alright? They'll come on cue when you start talking about them. Alright? Go ahead.
I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation.
Right. He said, I'm gonna also sit on the mountain of the congregation. You know what? I'm gonna be an Israelite too. Y'all see that? Well, who's doing that? Who's the one saying they gonna exalt? They gonna ascend into heaven. They gonna make their little nest among the stars, like he said in Obadiah, right? Who's the ones that saying they gonna sit among the congregation? I'm gonna go live in the land of Israel, even though ain't no real Israelites there, right? Who's doing that? Rhetorical. Go ahead.
In the sides of the north.
In the sides of the north. What's this continent called again? Never mind. Go ahead.
I will ascend above the heights of the clouds.
He wants to ascend above the heights of the clouds, man. I want to scrape the sky. Who lives in the skyscraper? Go ahead.
I will be like the Most High.
I will be like the Most High. Oh, you identify with being a girl? Poof, you're a girl. Mm-hmm. Right? Oh, we got LASIK. You can't see? LASIK. Bzzz. Right?
You're too fat, lipo.
Yeah. Don't worry. We got Billy over here with his vacuum. He'll suck all the fat out of you. You'll be a 90-pound woman in a day.
You the heart, big valve.
Right?
I can name them.
Who does this? Who is the one trying to be like the Most High? Now you're getting to see who that satanic spirit of Lucifer is. All right? Read on.
Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell.
See? You're going to be brought down to hell. Well, don't Satan already live in hell according to what your church taught you?
He's talking about to the grave.
Yeah, right? Yeah. No, he's talking about hell. Alright? Because he said hell and death was going to be cast into the lake of fire in Revelation. So, yeah, they're going to be brought down to hell. Go ahead.
To the sides of the pit.
Right, to the sides of the pit. Go ahead.
They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee,
right,
saying, is this the man?
What?
The man?
The angel?
The man?
The guy that led the chorus in heaven according to the Catholics.
The man?
Okay.
That made the earth to tremble?
Right.
That did shake kingdoms?
So we're talking about a man now. You understand? Like it said in Revelation 13, this is let him that have understanding get the number of the man, for the number of the beast, for is the number of man. His number is 606, or 66, right? What is that? Okay, that's a man that we're dealing with. And you got that spirit of Lucifer on it. All right, you got that Luciferian spirit. You got that light bringer spirit, that Illuminati spirit. Get it? Illuminated means Illuminati means light bringers. So Lucifer means light bearer.
Right.
I'll let you put two and two together on who gets to be in the top echelon of the Illuminati, because it ain't us. Mm-hmm. All right, you looking at Rockefeller and or the Jay-Z. You looking at Jay-Z thinking he the top of the pyramid. Stop it.
Right.
How's that?
But aren't we the real illuminated ones?
We're the true ones, right? That's why this guy is the Antichrist. He's a false Christ. He's the false version of the one that's supposed to be marked. You understand? He's the false illuminated one. All right. That's why I say he's Lucifer's son of the morning. All right. Did you finish that?
Verse 16.
Isaiah 14 and what?
14 and 12 to 16.
12 to 16.
You go to 17.
Yeah, I mean, it goes into pretty much all the characteristics of the white man. So I'm just going to let you know right there. Lucifer's a white man. Screw it. Spoiler alert. You knew who it was.
He wanted some tacos.
No, He really wanted
with a
to.
Coke.
I don't want no can.
Really wanted some drugs.
Yeah.
Him wasn't hungry. 'Cause if I was hungry, I'd be like, canned goods, hell yeah.
Anything.
Take whatever I
Can you open them for me? That
Yeah.
was my next
As a
question.
matter of fact, when you go down to verse 21, how do you know it's not the actual spirit Satan? Because for one, he said it was a man, right? Then he said, prepare slaughter for his children. Huh? Angels don't have sex, they don't have babies. Right? So this is a man. He already said it earlier up in the verses. Right? Right. So prepare, you highlight that in mine too. No, I memorized that. Never mind. I know that one off the top. I don't know. I highlight stuff I already know. If I highlight stuff I don't know, I don't know how to find it. Never mind. So go to Job, chapter 1.
Con. 6.
Yeah, I don't know. Is J.C. Judah the same one that asked about the fat girl from 6th grade?
Yeah.
No. There's J.C. and there's J.C. Judah.
Oh, Jason.
Okay, alright. Thought it was being sarcastic. I didn't answer that. Alright, so Job 1 verse 6, right? Let's go there.
Job chapter 1, verse 6.
Everybody there? Let's do it.
Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came among them.
So he already got free access to being up there. He doesn't have to say he will ascend there. He already can. Y'all see that? Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and walking up and down in it.
Right.
And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job?
Right. So y'all see that he has to report to him. He's an actual angel. All right. He's one of the sons of God, which in this point right here is an angel. All right. Because obviously the sons of Lucifer wouldn't be counted as sons of God. That's disgusting. What's that?
Before him reporting to and fro, basically could it be like the Most High stopped his beating because he wasn't supposed to be there?
He did what?
Because when you say when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Most High, and then he say, and Satan came also among them, like, you really weren't supposed to be there. That's why the Most High asked him, hey, where you coming from? Like, you know what I'm saying?
No, it's telling you because the one he's talking to is why they're naming him. You understand? So if he was talking to say Michael or Gabriel or any of them, right? Then he would have said him and the angels. He would have said Michael and the angels, right? And the sons of God. In this case, he's addressing the one he's going to be talking to. That way you know he's talking to Satan. He's not talking to all the rest. You see that? But, if you doubt, go to Jude.
I don't doubt it.
No. I'm just saying, like,
For clarification.
Yeah. No, that's why to remove any thoughts that he don't have access. Go to Jude and let's see, 9.
God. Jude, verse 9. Yet Michael the archangel, when contending with the devil, he disputed about the body of Moses.
Okay, so where's Michael? Where does he kick it at?
He kick it in head with the Most High.
There you go. So who's he disputing with?
With the devil.
Where? You see that?
Right.
They disputing in front of the Most High.
When they talk about the heavens too, though, like, it's different levels to the heavens too, though.
True. But these ones, the archangels always report to the Most High. That's what you read about in Revelation. Right? They always behold his presence all day, all night. Alright? So yeah, they be up there doing this.
Do you want me to finish reading that, or that what you was just
Nah, just showing you that dispute there, but you know the story on that one too.
And then you had said something about maybe the Most High was stopping him from doing his, like, roaming about?
Now, like, say Most High having a meeting. Like, you got us soldiers in here for a meeting. Somebody, we don't already kick that. Just happen to just come in and try to blend in. Go like, hey, where you coming from?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Nah, he was supposed to be there. He was coming to drop his report.
Right.
He was coming to present himself, just like the scriptures say. Because no, you know what's crazy? Because you just gotta think about it. If he wasn't really supposed to be there, read verse 8 real quick. Because the Most High in verse 7 asked him, "Whence comest thou?" Right? I'll read it real quick. He said, "Whence comest thou?" Then Satan answered the Lord and said, "From growing to and fro in the earth, and from walking down up in it." A good precept for that is 1 Peter 5:8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil is a roaring lion, which walketh about seeking who he may devour. Right? And when you jump back to verse 8, it said, "And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job?" So if he wasn't supposed to be there, it was said, and the Lord said, "Get the hell out." You see what I'm saying? But he was saying, look, okay, I know you're doing your job, Satan. Have you considered Job? You see what I'm saying? So if he wasn't supposed to be there, he would have been like, "What you doing here?" "Oh, I'm walking up and down the earth." "Well, what the hell you doing here?" But he was saying, look, okay, you're doing your job. Have you considered Job?
See, what the white man tries to sell you is this, like, devil that, like, he can jump into a man, or, like, the devil's advocate and all that stuff, right? But when he gets in contact with holy water, he starts burning up, or when he goes into a church, he just, melting, right? That ain't the actual devil is Satan.
Just my own, like, way of seeing it, so that's why I was asking for clarification.
Oh, yeah. No, I hear you.
That's what they teach out there.
Yeah. No, I'm just clarifying because we online too, so people want to know these things. But yeah, that what they sell you on TV, that's not the Satan you dealing with. This is the Satan that so the Most High don't tempt you with evil, right? Well, who does? That left hand side of the Most High. You understand? When he said, "Is there evil done in the city?" and the Most High had not done it, what does that mean? The Most High did evil? No, his left hand side did that.
Satan on his job.
You understand? Or Christ.
Or Christ, yeah, or Christ. God.
When you go into some other books and you really go into that study of angels, which I really don't recommend, but you find out a lot of them got dual natures. You understand? Or even the ones we go into with the spiritual hell, right? In the Apocrypha, the books they took out of the Apocrypha, the verses they took out of the Apocrypha. And they tell you, these angels drag your ass into hell. And they delight in doing what the Most High said.
And this book too, like even ourselves, like we not even, they got angels that's over our spirits. We got some angels over like our thoughts. They say we can't even have a thought.
Yeah.
Be perfectly clear.
Yeah. Well, it's like this, like even you, every one of us, we got this dual nature, right? Normally, the so-called Negro, the West Indian, the Haitian, they naturally kind, generous people. When you go to their island, hey, white man, come on in, give us AIDS, right? They naturally kind and generous people. Right? But see, that's the thing, is they also got that dual nature. You piss them off, next thing you know, they ain't no stopping them.
Right.
You know what I mean? You cut up in pieces, you know what I mean? They're shooting you in the face on TV. They doing it for their own home movies so they can watch it again and again and again. I just watched Issachar stab this dude like 75 times on camera. He did he was doing a whole movie. And the thing next to it was a news report showing that the dude was a child molester. He raped some 9-year-old or something. So, at first you like, oh, these niggas is insane. But then you like, okay, that's what they do to child molesters. That's what I would do. Mm-hmm. Right? But not on a normal basis. Like Esau just, you know what I mean? Hey, neighbor! You know what I mean? Like, thanks for letting me borrow your garden tools. All right? You know what I mean? Like, they do it like that. But us, we're like, it's got to be an extreme situation where we want to just shake somebody in the face.
Right.
You understand? It got to be something like, you know what I mean, like that to bring out that murderer side of us. You got to have done something, you know what I mean, or you know we got raised around the wrong people. I won't say who they are, even though I did already. Yeah, I couldn't sneeze Esau. I didn't know how to do that. But yeah, we thank y'all for joining us, man. Y'all been studying. That's great. It's beautiful. Keep it up. I'm gonna try to keep studying to keep ahead of y'all, man, because some of y'all had me dancing a little bit. I was trying to find certain things that been a long time out of my brain. So if you didn't get an adequate answer to your question, you know, ask it again. I'll try to be more studied up on those subjects. All right. And you know, also we're gonna have the brothers coming back around July 5th. So yeah, Priest Kazaki, I'll have another brain with me to help me shoot out some of these scriptures. He would have been here, but you know, he was working the zone because many are called, but few are chosen. And the harvest is plenty, and the laborers are few. All right, so we need more laborers. Hint. Are y'all still good in Trinidad and Tobago? Let's see if they're still on here. If not, hopefully the storm didn't get them.
Oh, it's something bad down here?
Yeah, it's supposed to be this storm like 3 times the size of the island or something. I don't know. If y'all are, just go ahead and hit up the live chat or the comment section. Let us know.
Or even the group text.
Yeah, some of y'all got me on WhatsApp or my 9,000 other text apps. So just hit me up on those. Yeah, you suck. All right. Yeah, just got that. So you're already here and. Yep. No rank for that guy.
Yeah, the one Nathan. He was on. He's on.
Yeah, if he answers, that's cool. Hopefully they'll hit me up, you know me, or I'll hit them up. Either way, but we're gonna set up prayers for y'all. So with that, we're gonna say shalom. Thank you for joining us, and come to see us again Wednesday, 7 to 10. All right, shalom.
Shalom.